All right, just kind of talking a little bit about Decentral as well. That's our kind of like next event that's going to be happening in Miami. It is going to be November 30th and December 1st. You can check it out at decentralcon.com. Drop the E. So we're also going to be showcasing a lot of different speakers as well. We'll have 3 different types of stages, the DeFi stage, NFT stage, and also the demo stage. Along with our art NFT gallery exhibition floor, we also have a metaverse world and kind of like VIP dinners and kind of like experiences. Like these are just some of the participating companies that are going to be at the event. You can once again check it all out on our website. And also some of the speakers as well are going to be speaking at the event. So for us as well, it's like we want to make sure that everyone's able to receive a lot of the information from DeFi and NFTs, and also start entering into the space. So we'll definitely have a lot more kind of like talks as well. We're going to go ahead and introduce the next the next panel on there as well, to kind of give you guys a glimpse into what we're going to be what the gaming space is going to be having.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. So today we've got a panel that's all about the growth of blockchain gaming, and I'm joined by Agrod and James. Guys, do you want to just quickly go ahead and introduce yourselves?
After you, James.
Thank you. I'm James Ho. I'm part of the strategic partnerships for Animoca Brands. My role here involves business strategy, deal flow investments, partnerships, and ecosystem. So I have a pretty good peripheral overview on the whole Animoca sort of ecosystem, sort of make guys play nice together. To date now, we've done over 100 investments now, so a lot of parties to keep in touch with, and a lot of cool things happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That ecosystem is ever expanding. Over to you, Agrod.
Yeah, and I'm Agrod. I'm one of the founders of Splinterlands. We're one of the biggest blockchain game projects out there. Actually, one of the biggest dApps out there recently. So happy to have worked with Animoca in the past, and happy to go present on NFTs, gaming, blockchain, DeFi, and just happy to be in this space. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to work together a little bit too, because Yield Guild Games is a client of Emphasis, which is my company, and they're partnered with Splinterlands and have made some pretty cool investments in your game. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Leah Callum Butler and the director of Emphasis. I was also the writer and narrator of the Play to Earn documentary, which was all about the rise of NFT gaming in the Philippines, if you've seen it. And I also write a regular column for CoinDesk, which is all about the adoption of blockchain technology across Southeast Asia. But without further ado, let's dive in. So today's panel is all about the growth of blockchain gaming. And I think Axie Infinity is the use case that everyone loves to point to, because they have had some pretty incredible growth figures this year. They've broken, I think, 2 million users now. They've just announced a $152 million Series B led by A16Z. And the kind of protocol revenue that they're raking in is competing with the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum and almost every other dApp out there, which is just amazing, considering that, it wasn't too long ago that hardly anyone was talking about NFTs, let alone NFT gaming. So with that, other people may not be familiar with the type of growth that you guys are experiencing. So, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the growth that you've experienced in 2021 in terms of onboarding new users, raising funds, and so on, just looking at your own game or your own ecosystem. James, do you want to kick us off?
Sure, thank you. We're proud to be early supporter of Sky Mavis, which is Axie Infinity. So I had the pleasure of sort of seeing that hyper growth. And I think that the play to earn being proven by Axie Infinity really sort of put this whole blockchain gaming industry on a head spin. A lot of new projects come into play. Likewise, Animoca are not only investors, we're also builders. So we have quite a few sort of different projects that we're also building and seeing some growth. One of which is F1 Delta Time. We recently kicked off one called Rev Racing, which we built internally using the Rev token. What we've done here is we actually have the ability to be more flexible without IP restrictions. We kicked off with our partners from Polygon and we did something quite interesting. We actually dropped and rewarded a lot of our players that held Rev. We dropped 20,000 cars, NFTs, and we backed it up with 150,000 of Rev competition token. We saw the user growth spike. Using Polygon, we were allowed to subsidize all the gas fees. So some of the challenges that were hindering the growth was still some of the gas challenges. Moving apart in F1 was a couple $100 US. That wasn't for everybody, in particular to certain regions. But with Rev Racing, we saw almost a 5,000% spike in user growth on the first 7 days because we're backed by play to earn. So we're starting to see some really interesting things also in another portfolio piece called GME. GME, we launched ARC 8, which also saw a super hyper growth on Polygon as well. Primarily because we're starting to enter a space where we're putting the token into gameplay for rewards and dropping NFTs for experiences. Outside from internal projects, we were seeing some amazing new projects being excited by the whole play to earn movement. We're seeing some AAA studios from traditional gaming coming into our space, trying to build next generation games. And Mocha has a role of supporting them in terms of educating them on play to earn, tokenomics, and NFT strategy.
That is super interesting. I've heard a lot of people saying like, oh, AAA game studios will never get into blockchain. It's against their centralized business model. And I'm sort of thinking this sounds like a Kodak moment. But we'll get into that later. Agro, what sort of growth have you seen this year with Splinterlands?
It's been astounding. I mean, we can barely keep everything moving with just how quickly we're growing. We 11x'd in August. I 2x'd in September. I'm set to 2x again in October. I mean, it's just, it's everything. We hit 1 million registered users for the game, 500,000 spellbook owners, which are basically paying customers and people that have purchased the right to earn. It's just nonstop growth, new people. The Discord keeps growing, and yeah, I mean, just every metric is basically up and to the right, except for like developer sanity and sleeping hours per night.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, this is a really exciting time for this space. But I mean, you guys have been in this space a lot longer than just 2021. So for anyone who's new to it, could you actually just take us a little bit back, and what was it like when you were building in, say, 2018, 2019, and no one had heard an NFT? James, I know that you guys were investing in some of the biggest NFT platforms today back then. So were people telling you were crazy?
Yes, more than once actually. So I think what happened in 2018 was one of the theses that we had was that this was probably going to be, we're entering into Web3. So if we had to make a playbook, what would we do? So we started investing in what did Web 2 needed in order for it to stand its foot and grow. So we made some bold bets at the time. We knew that we needed marketplaces, we needed wallet technology, we needed gaming. So our primary sort of thesis investments were investing in founders that had that vision. So we're quite lucky. We made 3 bets on marketplaces, and one was OpenSea. We made an investment into gaming, and somebody dropped out of Sky Mavis, so we doubled down. We thought the guys were amazing. And also we invested in Bitski. But on top of that, we also used what we knew very well from the free-to-play era in terms of our experience, and we acquired Pixel behind Sandbox. So we had quite a few successes early on, and we started following the playbook and using our sort of knowledge in IP, and started buying undervalued free-to-play companies that we felt had a strong ability to be tokenized. GME had sat on at the time 20 million users. Now they have 35 million registered users with 2.5 million monthly active users. In the free-to-play sector, that's very not looked upon as that amazing. But if you flip the switch into blockchain, these are numbers that are growing. And what can actual tokenomics integrated into gameplay change rewards, for instances? So we're seeing a lot of really interesting things from that perspective, as well as we're also acquiring some studios to support our sort of demand for gameplay, increasing gameplay experiences. So for people coming into the sector, I think they should start looking into understanding tokenomic design and NFT design as well too.
Yeah, I guess if you don't mind, just a really quick anecdote, which was one of the things that I thought was so brilliant in the Animoca brand story. I learned about the 111 F1 Delta Time car and the auction of that. I think it was the biggest NFT purchase in the world in 2019 at $100,000. Yeah, but no one knew who bought it. And I think Animoca Brands was accused of doing this elaborate marketing stunt to kind of artificially inflate the price of an NFT, because why would anyone spend that much on a car, a digital car? And I think it was like 18 months later or something that the actual buyer was revealed as Cohen of Metapurse, which is one of the most prolific NFT collectors in the world now. So I love how the story is unfolding, and people who are skeptical of this space are suddenly going, oh wow, no, there was just some really early thinkers who beat everyone to this place.
No, it was quite amazing. We actually hosted that panel when Cohen came out to announce who he was. I think Devin was our host from OpenSea. So that was special, right? I think a lot of people felt like this could be real. Who would spend this type of money on buying a car for collectability, right? So now the narrative has completely changed in 2021. NFTs are going
100,000.
I think it was 140 ETH at the time. So it's I think he's since collected quite a few pieces from our F1 series.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what about you, Agro? Like, what do you remember pre-NFT summer?
So I remember CryptoKitties just exploding onto the scene and everybody just going nuts for them. And my partner Matt and I were sitting at a restaurant in Philly, like just kind of talking through it and being like, these things are so awesome, but what somebody really ought to do is make a game. I mean, this stuff is just like built for blockchain. We just got to make a game. And he was saying that to me, and I was like, well, it's funny you should mention that. I like when I'm not doing my real work, something else, I'm actually a game designer. And, I had been working on a couple different ideas, and, the two of us got to talking and realized that we really had all the different components that we needed to go launch something. And so, we started with, a website where you could purchase cards, but even the cards weren't like full images yet. You could just like purchase, this is coming soon. Then it was just the images. Then you could just combine them. Then you could just fight with them, but fighting with them wasn't even all that like sophisticated. You would just spam the same team over and over again. And then we finally got into like, much more strategy and the battles. And then we layered in land and all this other stuff. So it's been like, we were just in this space when we were looking around and there's nothing here. It's just CryptoKitties kind of invented this ERC 721 contract. And then from there we said, what else can we do with it? So, some people ask us, why did you build on Hive? And, we looked at Ethereum and we thought, okay, well, these gas fees are going to be pretty prohibitive. I don't think we can do that. And things like EOS didn't even exist at the time, so it's like, there weren't a lot of options. We chose Hive, and I'm pretty happy with the blockchain that we're on, just because of the scalability, the number of transactions. I mean, our game, we move parts of the game off chain, but we still do something like 4 million transactions per day on chain.
Wow.
And you can compare that to Ethereum that does 1.2 million transactions. So, we have just a ton of people doing a ton of interaction and buying, selling, trading, renting. And, we saw a lot of this back in 2018, but, it's like a journey of blood, sweat, and tears to go get to today. Like we were founded on Steam, and we like rode that token from $10 down to like 25 cents. It's like that, people talk about Great Depressions, and they talk about, the difficulty of doing business. I mean, the base economy of our chain went from, millions and millions to, like $100,000 or something. I don't even know, but it was terrible. And, but we survive. We have different money management policies now. And, but, back then there weren't even really like a lot of basic tools, like people, when you started playing our game, you would literally input your key into the game and just hope that like we didn't take your stuff. It's like, okay, we've evolved since then, have like key management systems and just basic rules around like how do we make sure that people are and their funds are safe. Did we lose Leah?
Oh, she froze.
I think she froze. She's just in a quizzical. She's still pondering. She's still pondering here. So what do you see as like the next biggest step of this whole industry? Like where do you think we're going to go, and what do you think we're going to end up? You know, what's the next vision, or what's the next? How do we go from just play to earn to what do you add on to that next?
I think play to earn is I mean play to earn, and also with Gabby sort of the guild models, we're seeing a lot of innovation in that space. And I think we made some investments into, we have about 15, 16 metaverse investments currently right now. So we're seeing some trends in terms of like, with the growth in there is going to be undisputed. You know, seeing how Sandbox is growing. I think the content is going to be important as well, coming into it as well. Hey, Leah, thanks for coming back.
I am so sorry, my internet just dropped out.
You were just staring at us quizzically for a while.
I was just so hanging on every word that you were saying. You know, I was stuck. I don't want to interrupt. Should I walk straight into a great convo?
No, go ahead. Do your next question. Just
Well, I had a burning question because you said before something that I really kind of grabbed onto. You said you love crypto kitties, but someone really needs to make a game out of this. And I think that's a really interesting idea because a lot of people are saying that NFT games could be the pathway that onboards the next million, if not billion, new crypto users. And that sounds like that's kind of the way that you were going. Like crypto kitties might be quite difficult to access for a lot of people who weren't, you know, in the crypto bubble, but games appear to be a lot more easily accessible for real people. So like, what's your thinking around that? How are you seeing that already happening?
Yeah, that's been our thesis from the very beginning. Is that, you know, gamers and people that like these trading card games, you know, they're typically pretty nerdy human beings, and they like all these detailed rules and all the specifics of the cards and the combinations and all that. Well, like the same kind of nerd is the guy that's like studying all the different rules of this cryptocurrency, how it interacts, block times, rules, you know, size of transactions, whatever, all that kind of like detailed stuff. It appeals to the same nerd, and so we knew that from the very beginning that like you know, the guys that really like these kind of like high intellectual card games are also going to be the people that are just like totally in love with crypto. And so that's been one of our key plans and key audiences from the very beginning of let's go get that guy that loves, you know, their gaming culture with the multiple currencies, with, you know, trying to figure out how to transact through eBay to go sell items in game that you're not supposed to. How do we bring that guy into an economy and a rule set where you can actually just do that? And, you know, our core audience is people that love crypto and people that love gaming. But, you know, as we keep expanding, we got to go find people that either love crypto or love gaming, and then get them to really appreciate the other half of that equation. So from the beginning, that's what we've done.
I would take it even a step further than that, because I think here, what we saw in the Philippines, like particularly amid the pandemic, people started playing blockchain games and were incentivized to figure out how to cash out these obscure ERC20 in-game rewards into real cash. And to me, that's a really important mindset shift, because previously, if you wanted to get into crypto markets, you had to have money to spend up front to, say, buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum. And now that you can earn it, you've got all these new crypto users that are willing to jump through all those hoops and learn how to use this nascent technology in order to be able to turn it into real cash, which is cool. But I guess another aspect around that too, which I think is really important to Animoca brands, we hear Yat talk all the time about how gamers might be the first persona profile in the whole world to figure out that they really do have digital rights and they should be demanding them. And that's something that I think, you know, despite all the Facebook scandals, Cambridge Analytica, the whole bit, like we haven't seen real people wake up and realize that data is the most valuable resource in the whole world. But maybe gamers will be the ones to actually push this forward. Like, how does Animoca Brands think about that, James?
So we're lucky. We're early investors into Dapper Labs, CryptoKitties, and we had a chance to publish it in China. That late 2017, we went in to join them, and that really changed our perspective, because once we saw I'm not sure if you guys recall, but CryptoKitties crashed the Ethereum network, and that excited a lot of people in the industry. That was when the Animoca as a company really started thinking, is this really the future of where gaming could lead to? And we had we were bold enough to say that we felt that gaming was going to lead to the first billion users onto blockchain. When I joined 2018, we really started shifting gears. We knew that the challenges in free to play were the ad revenues. You're fighting against the 10 cents in the world on budgets that were shoestring compared to what they were building, and they can keep doing it with a limited sort of bandwidth. So once we sort of experienced CryptoKitties sort of growth, we knew that the system
Boring people. Thankfully, GME will be along in 3 minutes.
And once we we've seen too many games that folks have spent thousands of hours playing, and the game goes belly up, they lose all their assets. And we also bet that true digital ownership was going to change how people would choose to play. We knew that there's going to be teething processes in getting gameplay up to that level and quality. But we knew that the people that garnered and respected this is going to go, you're going to choose decentralized all day long before go back to centralized. We think it's going to be blurred together. We think gameplay at the end of the day is just going to be about a great game. Nobody's going to care about it. Is blockchain or not blockchain? The game's going to be amazing. You're going to play it, right? It's also a bonus that you can cash out and go buy something in the physical world. So we decided to go heavy into those development. And even if you look at our first development for F1 time trial, it was not a game. Most people laughed at it, right? But the people that tried it were like, "Oh, I get to own this. I'm going to stay with playing it and learning it." So I think the early adopters definitely proved really important for us as well, and they continuously sort of challenge it. But we think that gamers understand, token rewards and a lot of the basic fundamentals in blockchain. They already understand it because it's within the game already. Aside from the fact that you now have a non-fungible token and a fungible token.
Yeah, and I would add to that it's like a one-way valve. Like a player that comes in and they play Splinterlands, they'll tell us flat out, I'm not going to go back to those digital games. Like, why would I do that? Here, like we've had players that have traded tens of thousands of dollars worth of cards, and they're far richer for it. I've had people message me and say, "Hey, I'm a millionaire now because of these cards. Thank you so much." And the idea that they're going to go back to these traditional, Web 2.0 games and spend $500, $5,000, or even sometimes $10,000 or more playing something like that, I just don't see it happening. Even when the game, I love Splinterlands and I'm proud of it, but we're still not like a AAA game yet. But the players, there's so much value there relative to a little difference in art or even a big difference in art that the players don't seem to really care, and they're really happy to be here and grateful for asset ownership and economic freedom and not getting banned out of tournaments and things like that, because that's just not how it operates. And I don't know. I think I just don't see once a player has experienced this, I just don't think that they're going to go back and be like, oh, okay, well, asset ownership was awesome, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to play this game and put $10,000 into the ether and it's always gone. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Did you want to respond to that, James? Or
no, I think we're seeing folks that play games. I think this is that's interesting sort of point. I think that segues that the catalyst of how we're playing blockchain gaming is driving the next dreamers of game makers, and then we're seeing a lot of those coming to play, because if you're playing a traditional game that is amazing graphic, amazing physics, they're dreaming about, can we put this into the blockchain? We're seeing that every day. People contacting us being like, we're from this studio, we don't know how to build a game like this. So that's the part that is extremely exciting for me to see, where I could play a high fidelity game, or soon to be potentially we have a game on console, if I'm brave enough to say so. Can you bring a blockchain game onto console? So this is really where the giants like the Ubisofts are really sort of paying attention already, right? So when will we see this, right? I think it's a matter of time.
So, I mean, we're talking about growth here, and there's so many different concepts that are rolled into a blockchain game, from the game itself. And yes, there's been plenty of criticisms that, play to earn games have got a long way to go before competing with AAA game studios, which I think is kind of expected. It is a pretty early stage industry. But then we're talking about things like, digital property rights. How do you actually look at your total addressable market? I guess even to throw into the works there, like play to earn, a lot of the games in that space are kind of looking at the global jobs market and disrupting how people earn their money. So when you think about the total addressable market for NFT games, what does that look like for you?
After you, James.
To us, I think I'm not sure if you guys have followed.
Ha! No. After me, James. After me, James. Oh my goodness gracious, James and Co. See you later, Rocky. Have a great stream. Rocky's going to also stream the NFTCON guest speakers live. Won't that be fun? Oh, so seriously, this is what we've been watching here, is otherwise known as a disillusion of responsibility. Literally nobody is being interesting. See you, Rich. Have a good one, Rocky. Outcrop. Rocky Outcrop. So look, yeah, I apologise for inflicting that upon you. It obviously is of some interest to some people, because we have twice many viewers for this nonsense as we did for the final of Tadpole Games. Holy crap, that was amazing. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. It was such good fun. Nice little pick-me-up Tuesday. That's what we're doing. There'll be another 50 of them before we even think about changing the format significantly, though it will be improving. So thanks, everybody. Yes, you say, Jimmy, you've got a YouTube screen for a head. And I say, yes, that's what happens when you do YouTube streams every day. Hello, my lords. Nice to see you all. Thanks for everybody tuning in. It is Tradespotting's time on the mic. We're going to do the TA. We're going to look at GME. That's that chart there you see beside those boring people. Like, seriously, I mean, I understand what it's like when you're doing these things, but like, one of them should step up and be interesting. Is Leah hosting it? Because she seems to be asking the questions, and I don't know, right? It's just not all that interesting to me, for God's sake, right? So, you know, also, like, no offense in that, but they're all like so, like, as well as not being interesting, they're actually boring. You know, they're like a go anyway, right? So, aye. Now, I know I should just be a positive human being. On the 1 minute chart on GME, let's see, well, not very much. Like the 15 minute on chart GME, like, oh, look, that was a higher high and body closes. That's interesting. You know, I'm aware I still have a YouTube box for a head and I'm not on the big charts. Don't worry. We're gradually easing in from boring to good, right? Geez, at least I am. So stick with me. Look at the Bollinger Bands on the 15 minutes here, closing higher at the bottom side, obviously. Themselves up at the 50 period moving average. So you see, as a floor arises, there's the ghost of Dan. Yo, did you hear the first jingle idea? Oh, shit, I've not got to it yet. It's in Discord. I was on Discord earlier, and I got caught up in other things and missed my bath. Does this look like an M? Will it look like an M? What's going to happen? I don't know. I haven't even checked the jingle. I may take a quick sneak over to the jingle at market close and hear what it's to say. That'll be fun. Something to look forward to. Thanks very much, Dan. It's like Christmas. Talking about Christmas, there'll be a new Xmas range on Unreasonable.shop. Do it soon. And you know what that means. Everything that's already there will be getting more expensive. So if you've got your eye on anything, now's the time. I do like to tell you, you buy it support, not at resistance. And it's a similar story now. I see there's other people chatting. Can't go straight from NFTCON to the glory of Touch It Hameh. Right, you don't want to get, what is it? It would be like the bends. So some sort of pressurization sickness. Yeah. How long's left in market close? 14 minutes. Is that enough time for me to run and go for a wee? 50-minute time frame. We're below the 8-period moving average. Do we aim for the 55? This level of horizontal, 179. Is there any hype around this idea of NFTCON and the guest speakers? Is one of the guest speakers likely to be Ryan Cohen? What does he know about NFTs? He's a CEO. You know, he's not even the CTO. So... And is he even the CEO? He's not. He's the chairman of the board. Pardon me. So, you know, why would he be a guest speaker? You know, all of the things that people do or don't know, it's interesting to check it out, though, right? If there's any hype, We'll be there. We'll be there. We've got a carriage, a hype carriage on the train. It's not completely a hype train. It's a a maglev of doom, but we do have a hype carriage somewhere in the middle there. I think it's slightly ahead of the buffet car, so very accessible. And after 9 on Fridays, it turns into Tradespotting Funhouse Fridays, so get yourself down there. Oh, me, my brain, and that nonsense we just listened to. 183.00. We can't see your beautiful face, Jamie. Oh, Space Monkey. Yeah, no, this is what happens, right? You spend too long doing the YouTubes, and then your head turns into a YouTube channel. So here's me scratching behind my ear, and it actually looks like I'm poking this man. Hello, I'm a little man. Hello, I'm a little lassie. Yeah, just like that. Where did you get those skills? Well, many years practicing with Stock Puppet left me with these talents, which I just have to use sometimes. They come out on stream. On stream. What else has been happening today? PROG's down 10%. You notice that? Look at those lines. Look at that short position. Look at that interesting news there. Look at that short position. You came up. You got the other chance at it. This was the place to go for it at. Bing, got it. Bing, great news. Congratulations, everybody. A lot of money to be made short in PROG. Repeatedly, in fact. Well, bing bong. Holy sugar. That means that there's an alert coming. Bing bong. The price is wrong. Those are amazing talents, lol. What did that bing bong mean? It'll be the PayPal, and I didn't see, so that's some very generous person being very kind. Thank you so much. What is the magleg of Doom's max speed? Have you read Charlie and the Glass Elevator, Weezer? Because therein lies the answer. Diddle-a-ding. Jamie, where's your head? Where's your head? Where's your head at GME? GME. And I could repeat that over and over, maybe 3-4 times, and stick another verse on it after, but it would get a bit of a head wreck. So, talking about head wrecks. Thank you very much, D. Harker, who did with the 420. Why did I get the 420? Did you see the 420 coin? I see it in there at the bottom. It looks lovely. Thanks, D. And then the Ghost of Dan and Chris beforehand super chatted as well. Well, very generous people. And I see those names repeated. Well, isn't that a story to be told? This is it, being told, Jimmy. Shut up. Right, thanks. You generous people. 200 period moving average on that one, coming in at around the level of support you would expect it to get back to, having broken that previous one. 236 retest of that Fibonacci. Where's the top of that? That's your previous move. Let's see where it comes in at now. Boom. Look at that. You're right at it. That would have been quite likely it would go there, wouldn't it? Everybody out leveled up now. Trading PROG like a charm. One went in, put an all-time new high in there. See it? Then it put in a second one, which was Divergent, which is what this always does. Second high, Divergent. Second high, Divergent. Second high, Divergent. I called a 15,000% move on this one. People always think that's silly. Who calls things like that? Well, Tradespotting does. Look. 0.00384. That's the move. I called it. I told people where it would go. And I told people, actually, this was your entry at the point when it was that, right? So I also called a percentage move that's staggeringly even higher, right? The second time, but like stupidly massive the first time, and then second time, there you go, look at that. 23,913%. Not bad calls here on Tradespotting. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't think that you can just miss an episode and still get rich, because who knows, everyone could have left you behind by that stage. Not many YouTube channels call moves of over 23,000%. There aren't many of them. Like I could, honestly, there really aren't. So yeah, now I could say like, I'm not going to brag about it, but it's literally the best call anyone will have ever made in their life that you've ever heard about. and I made it live on YouTube, and it happened, and it's brilliant. And there you fucking go, 23,000%. And it hit on my first day. It was saying, oh, but you had to wait ages, Jimmy. It's like, no, you didn't really, because it actually went and hit it there. And that was its low, and it hit it there, right? It's not all that long. You had to get it in at March 2020, and then you got out in March 2021. And I told everybody in March 2020 that it would be in and around this time, and it would go 23,000%. So imagine you'd put 10 grand on that. Well, there you go. You and the rest of your children's children don't need to work again. And that's the type of calls that happen at Tradespotting. No joke. I could fucking big it up and talk about other things, about how amazing it was and the risk management I gave you at the bottom. So like the risk reward to the on this thing, the percentage of it, you'll never ever, literally never hear a trade as good as I get it in your life anywhere other than here on Rocky Outcrop's channel. And then there's the areas for taking profit and re-entry along the way. So you're able to get into that, change your life, change it again, and then change it staggeringly, change it another time. And if you're looking for a similar move on other things, then this is the place to tune into. Jamie, why are you still showing off? Everybody is going to tune out. This is even more boring than the NFTCON. How'd you like that for a tune, folks? Hey, you big fans? BlackBerry up 5%. Perhaps it gets back into this formation. Right, now you could have taken this down to the wicks down here. 1, 2, that kind of cuts through it. Let's make it work on the middle, and then you're kind of still in it. Body close on the bottom side. You might think to yourself, Jamie, why is that stupid line on the top all the way up there? Well, that's the weekly time frame. Top down, you can see these body closes, and that gives it some significance. Third time up there likely proved to be congestion. You're aiming for 1525. It's also the 50% retrace on the Fibonacci from your high to your low, and that's what you're looking at on BlackBerry. You got your support area here. This was the line, dropped below it, touched the bottom Bollinger Band, came back up within the formation. It's above this horizontal level of support. If it's going up, this is the place to be buying it. And around here, it's currently at 980, and it looks like it's heading up to $15. That's a big move. If you want to change your life, there's an option. In and out with no ethical concerns. GME, on the other hand, a holder. A holder. Oh, we love to hold, so we do. And there's how long left? 6 minutes. Right, well, let's drop down in the 1 minute time frame. Put on the auto charts. I'll go and do a quick wee and see if GME fails here at the 50 or heads to the 200 period. I'll be back in 20 seconds or a tiny little bit longer. Oh, look, there's a guy playing music now on this channel. Just hear what he has to say. Richard was good yesterday. Jam. Is that to Rocky? It might well be. Cheers, Jam. Jam's a nice chap, so it may well have been what he was saying. Plus, Rocky was fucking good yesterday. Or maybe he's talking about something on that stream, and it's about the music that's happening right now. In which case, it might be worth listening to. Not got long for you, mate, though. You have to make it something quicker than this. Right, can't be fucked with that. Anyway. On at the charts, we'll look at this in the minute time frame in the background. As if that is the chart. Give me my actual screen back. Stupid camera. Look at me looking like a complete gormless numpty. Don't look at me, actually. Don't ever look at that. Hello, GoPro. Can you actually work? That would be nifty. Why are things going wrong at this stage of the game? Come back. Baby, come back. Right. That's a nice color guitar. You can't see it anymore. Okay, so viewership numbers have been dropping, so I'm going to try a new thing out where I get naked. That's a joke. Right. It was a con, all right. You're right, Nathan. It was a total con. We'll be back to see if they're still conning people later. That's fucking, what is that, eh? It's crap. That's what it is, crap. Right? And if I was Ryan Cohen and I was on my way to that thing, I'd have been looking at what was going on YouTube, and I'd have turned around and left. Quite like I did when, I was going to international fashion shows and whatnot, and I was seeing who I was supposed to be with or whatever, and if, I wasn't like king of the show, I'd just immediately turn around, and equally if it was boring and not worth being at, I'd also quickly turn around. So very exclusive billing. Right, so you're below this level of support on the 1 minute chart. Looking left, you can see that there's a horizontal line there. I drew it in, and then as I say, we've opened above it, tested below, put in bullish and bullish divergence across your time frames. Across your time frames? Get back to what you're talking about, Jimmy. You've got a couple of seconds before market close. 2 minutes. You got bullish divergence there. Like I say, you're heading to 200 period moving average here. 184 spot, something. Top Bollinger Band above it. So, but the minute chart, you head there in the next couple of seconds. Then you've got 60 seconds to head up to 185, 184 and change, which would be a nice place for things to close. And, whatever really, right? 180s, it's all bargain prices. Over a context of price action today is much more interesting than the last 60 seconds. And to say where price action has gone and why this line's important, though, being here at the moment and there being a little bit of a tick-tock left on the clock. I suppose I could add some hype and enthusiasm. Oh my goodness, can you see what's happened? What's happened is I had a shower and didn't use any conditioner, so my head's all flat and my hair isn't all that interesting. Then earlier the camera froze and I looked like a potato gone wrong. That's what's so interesting right now. No, the price action which isn't really moving. You had a bullish divergence on the bottom of that low, so you'll hit the 200 period moving average. It'll just happen post-market if it doesn't happen in the next whatever number of seconds there is. 17, 16, 15. Ding. Your horizontal there looking left. Sure, you might think that means something. If it does, then you come down looking at your right-hand side, of which will be a higher low and an inverted head and shoulders, and price action will then take the measured move, which will be above the 200. It'll be this horizontal looking left. It'll be 185 spot 50. So it's up to you, price action, one way or the other way, but they're both up ultimately. And that's the tech analysis. It's like, that's so much more interesting, and being able to talk about those sort of moves, right? I could be doing the same thing right now on Forex, right? You could be trading that at like 125x and that, and you could be imagine the amount of money you'd make. Boom, look at this. Boom, life-changing, right? It is life-changing. Big long-term moves that last a year, short-term moves that last minutes, whatever, right? You got it all covered here. And it'll last this resource as long as I have friends like yourselves tuning into this stuff I do. 214 people, shocking. Thanks very much, everybody. It's appreciated. It's great to see so many people tuning in for a change. Thanks. At all, ever. In the future will be as well. And in the past, it also was great. So here we go. What are you talking about? I don't know. Qualifying something? Don't know. Sure. Here's your horizontal. You're still at it. Price action's closed. 184.06. And like I say, 200 period moving average. There's a 1 minute one. The 5 minute, you'd be looking at around this basis line of the Bollinger Band. Like that would be defining when you get through there. You'll likely then within 2 or 3 of this 5 minute time frame hit the top. And you don't tend to spend like your average true range into that since you've crossed through from the basis line to touch the bottom Bollinger Band. It's only been 1 or 2 candles between each. Cross through, it'll be 1 or 2 at the top side, and it itself's got a bigger range. Does that mean that there's increased volatility coming up? No, it means that you're in a period of volatility relative to the previous move, which is why the Bollinger Bands seem to be expanding. And so you can use Bollinger Bands slightly differently from how you might use the on-chain channels in a step-by-step measurement of a linear progression, or measuring some other aspect of a trend using its horizontals, and then you'd apply your own appropriate look-back period within that indicator to make it work for you to your best of your application. In this sense, you've got a difference in that you use the Bollinger Bands and the distance between them means something, which is another distinction between them and on-chain channels, which is something that Stefan S. had asked about at some point in last week, I think. At least it occurred to me when I was looking at the fact that these are now expanding, and it's to do with like the range. Does that mean that there's likely greater volatility coming? Well, we're only really looking at the 5-minute time frame, and you've seen an expression of that volatility with this return to its previous high. That previous high likely forms resistance. Peaks tend to do that kind of thing. And here we are having traced to the first horizontal, which I drew on. I don't know if you were tuned in at the start, price action was up around these levels somewhere. And I drew this one in, and that was the first one. You get a test of it, we'll see how it goes. The 5 minutes time frame, opens and closes, is not enough to call it a test of anything, right? And you can test how like junkies and crack addicts would look at this kind of thing. No offense, right? I understand the roaring, tearing, screaming tragedy that happened to youth across the world and led to the uptake in that sort of drug, but like that's how the mentality of people who trade this shit might even briefly constitute any sort of relevance is up here on the 15-minute time frame. And Tradespotting, Andrew Hassman, says Shane Dawson. Shane DeBush, sorry. Shane Dawson. Here you go, Shane Dawson. Creek. Blossom Hill. Hey, I got a glass. I gotta go. You gotta climb in through your window of your wee boat, and giving you a little message there from Shane. It says, Tradespotting, Andrew Hasman. Has he, man? Wondering why we super chat you for this content. Oh, Andrew. Yeah. Well, you see the way it is, Andrew. The serious answer to that question is because people get a lot of value out of the TA. You know, like, so like if say, for example, like I touched earlier on like a move on one, it was 23,000 percentage point move. So a lot of people like that kind of thing, you know, and like it contributes serious value to their lives, trading these things and getting the advice off a professional who worked at an investment bank who was taught to do this thing by other professionals. The people who taught me between them had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years experience at the very, very top of the game. And they taught me hands-on how to do this kind of thing and so many other things that add qualitative info to and value to this delivery of this message that you're unlikely to get anywhere else apart from perhaps on Rocky Outcrop stream. And maybe one or two other YouTubers who've got experience in this space, and chances are you won't know who they are, right? Andrew Hasman sounds like Andrew has a lot of skeptical or perhaps cynical understanding of what it is to be presenting on YouTube, and I'd understand because that impression will have been created by other people, or you wouldn't have asked that question, Andrew. If you tuned in for a while around here, that question would seem silly, because YouTube have a limit on how much you're allowed to donate, and had people been listening explicitly and carefully to everything I'd said, not taking it as financial advice but used it to inform their own trading decisions, they'd all be wealthy beyond their wildest dreams, and any limit on how much they were able to donate to me would be the question of what was absurd. And that's why you'll notice the hilarious absurdity that comes in my communication message and personality on the internet, because I understand the staggering level of value presented here and the hilarious nature of the fact that someone like me would take their time to do this kind of thing based on society's understanding of what people's time is worth and how it should be rewarded. But because I'm one of the sort of, turns out that there's a few people like us, right? And you'll find them all in chat here, tuning in every day, who believe that it isn't actually money that truly rewards people. And if you've got any understanding of like psychology and so on, and I expect you would have if you're asking questions like, why are you donating to YouTubers instead of just watching and seeing that evolve itself? I suspect that you're some way into either a nice guy with some true genuine feelings and asking the question genuinely, or a huge fanny that stands in line at the drugstore psychology shop and argues with other crazy people front and behind you about whose turn it is next. Because there is no question why people would donate to a YouTube channel like this. There isn't. And the people that you get consistently watching this channel are changing their fucking lives. And in turn, they're changing the world and their communities around them. And if I stick around long enough, you will undoubtedly have your life improved by one of those people who don't do it for money, but know that it isn't about money or glory. It's actually about the reward of helping other people, because there's actually fuck all in life that's worth anything other than that. And so your calling, like mine and like anybody else's, will be to do what you can do to the best of your ability that effectively helps the most possible people. And when you're dead, if you ever have to answer as somebody, they won't be saying, here's a list of all the things you did wrong. They'll instead be saying, here's a massive fucking list of all the positive, net positive changes that your existence led to. And here is this other list of where it could have been if you just tried a little bit harder. And what's very likely Andrew has, man, and if not you, full respect to you, but other people who've given me this impression, which is fair because you came with your own initial expectation, understanding, and mischaracterization, so allow me mine, should it be true, is that I will have those pearly gates opened up to me and my friends, and others who stand on the sidelines casting stones will be left outside to continue throwing those pelters and get nothing and give nothing overall as well. So I've got a question for you, Andrew, if it is that you're still in opposition to the points I'm making, or you think that you've got some better understanding of this life I'm leading, what do you do that contributes overall? Are you here for the benefit of GME? Because I certainly am. What have you done for the net overall benefit of GME? And can it be added up just with your own account? Because if so, sir, that's quite selfish, sir. That's quite not what this ticker's all about, sir. You know, there are other things for you, sir, like AMC and BlackBerry and Nokia and COS and Tesla and 1inch. There are hundreds and thousands of other tickers for you, sir. GME is not for people like that, sir. So the answer why people donate to Tradespotting is because Tradespotting takes it, turns those magic beans of $4.99, $5.99, $19.99, or even more into massive fucking beanstalks that reach up to the fucking moon, and we all scramble up them 1,000 miles an hour. Because I put every single penny and tons more back into improving this stream to improve the engagement so that more people find out about GME so that we together can change the world. Why do people do it? Instead of, as opposed to, compared to, where's your higher ethics? Where's your greater purpose? What fucking maths are you doing to be turning up and asking that question? Judge not, lest you be judged, Andrew. The better question, Andrew, is not why are people donating, it's why are you here? Me, Jamie, Tradespotting. Why are you here doing this? And is the answer not obvious? If your question is, but then if you are as you claim, why would you be here? It's because not only should you not walk around judging people, Andrew, it's because those who are first will be last, and those who are last will be first. And the people that need your help most deserve your help most. And those people identify themselves. And we are here doing that. Look at the lines on that fucking chart. You know, Is it not obvious why people, like, look at the chart? There. There is why people donate. Look at these lines, these horizontal, these vertical lines. Have you ever seen a clearer picture of the future? Wow, some huge donations coming in there. Thanks, everybody. Ah, wow, a new member. Frickin' hell. That's really appreciated. I should have turned on the connections with the lights and whatnot earlier. They're on now. Had it done so, then Andrew would have another reason why people donate. It's because it's entertaining and it's fun, and there is like value given back to people. So if anybody wants anything in particular, let me know. Nor do you have to donate in order to get it, because it's not like that. It's not that kind of show. I don't do it for money. Oh, sugar, there goes all the alerts. All at once. With the lights and everything. Bling, bling, blong, blong. Holy shit, super chats, loads of fucking money. Holy sugars McJuggers. That's really going to piss off some certain types of people. And there's another answer, because, you know, holy shit, random man. Hey, nah, like, honestly, it's so, like, you know. The truth is, I don't know why people donate. I don't know, Andrew, eh? Fuck off and ask everybody, like, go fucking ask the people in chat, Andrew, you huge fanny. Are there guest speakers on this fucking NFT thing yet? No, Ethan, Jenny, some guy from Edge of NFT, Samuel Stebburn, Space Metals, Nick and Cliff. Nobody interesting. Where else is there? Is this it? Hey, Max! Jamie, I do know why I'm donating, and it's because you're a special kind of human. Thanks. And we're going to change the world for good. Cheers. Gamox of War. Majestic fluffy butts. To the beanstalk, love GME. Love Rocky, GME to the moon. Random man. Native flight. Vivek, hey, and thanks so much for joining up, Fat Cow. Shane the Bush, you're a fucking legend. Fishhead, half a pint, cheers to me, payday 15th, you legend. You got other priorities ahead of me, I hope, Fishhead. 9 down, 13. 30 whole bucks. The value of you and Rocky experience and perspective on the market is second to none. If you may be of the slightest, pay the slightest attention, you'll be better traded for it. Thanks so much. 9 down, you're a very generous chap. Anti-Fanatic, 586. Anti-Fanatic, thanks, friend. Frozen Puck, 2. Frozen pucks, not frozen hearts. We donate so we can be in a private place away from Andrew and Andrews and Karen's. Bulldog, you're so generous and such a good thanks. Audie, $10. Jamie frightened me and I dropped my banana. Oh shit, I owe you a banana, Audie. But I can help with that for sure. Chikar, $10. And I thank you. You're 100% welcome. Wait, sir. Super chat, $5. Cos banana. What? I have to find out about this story about the banana. Dead boy. Dead boy. Gustav Wolfric. There he is. Could you look at RYCEY, please? Recall TA you did about it a while at 131. I'm curious where it is today. I will 100% look at RYCEY. You fucking betcha, Wolfric. Holy shit, I'm getting donations the other direction. It's ironic because Andrew hit me up in DMs asking how much my dirty socks cost because he's into that. $3.99 for those that are curious. It goes to the Jiu-Jitsu guy. What you did? Already me. Oh my goodness, you called $49. This is a good entry point for SAVA a few weeks ago. I'm currently up a fair chunk of change. Perhaps that's worth a super chat, Andrew. Holy shit, thank you so much. Jiu-Jitsu guy, super chat for the content? There's a short answer. Tradespotting, Andrew Husband. Oh, we got back to Shane's question. Well, now I've got to go back the other way because this was interesting. Your daily inspiration always matches your remarkable TA. And then there's a fucking massive one. Holy shit, $199. Holy shit, it's a Wet Your Pants Wednesday and I'm wetting my pants. I donate because on March the 11th, when I was first down real money in my position and was scared poopless, GME, who had no idea who he was, came on my TV with a title saying relax and then explained why what was happening was happening. 2 days later at 1 a.m. his time, he had the Bing Bong stream. And Daniel, nobody's done more for me since. Thanks. Jamie for president of the world. That's the one president job I might take. Teaching ordinary people to do to do a capitalism will change the world. Teaching ordinary people to do a capitalism will change the world. Can't spare much yet, but thank you, Chris. You're a fucking legend. Thank you so much. Everything means so much. Thanks so much, everybody. Bang bong, we super chat for the beans. That means one's come on I can't read. Minner M, because we love you and we and what you and Rocky Rich do. Thanks so much, Minner. Love you too. And and I've got missed messages somehow and loads of GME signs. We super chat for the bananas. Don't forget to ice those diamond hands. I got so much ice there for the ice machine, or that smoke machine. It's not an ice machine, that's the freezer. I've got a freezer. Traditionally, it's called the freezer. It's a banana freezer. It's a banana ice machine, otherwise known as a freezer. It goes in a very different, anyway, long story, but ice on the banana hand. Teaching ordinary people to do, so like, what did I miss there before it though? Tutorial or inspiration, thank you so much. That's very, very appreciated. Cookie. Lois, I am a grandma whose instant reaction is to want to make you cookies, but since I can't, I'll send a super chat. Lois, you're a grandma. That's $10. There's some big cookies. That's really appreciated. Thanks so much. Cause banana, Andrew, love you and Rocky. Thanks very much. That's appreciated. And I think I've just seen another huge donation in this before. Just got here, but I heard we don't like Andrew. I'm down with that. Says Andrew. No, it's that's Andrew. There's the real Andrew. Because that's why, holy shit, $100 there from Chris Roth. Send your Roth. There's some famous people with that last name. Thank you so very much, Chris. That's really appreciated. That's a huge donation. This is probably the best day of donations I've ever had now. Maybe. But certainly in this sense, it will be, I mean, it will be. Anthony Fanatic with the $5 and Shane DeBush beforehand puts on Andrew. Bosmans, not Dosmans, it's Bosmans. Maybe Bosmans, as you'll know that's to do with European legislation. Bosmans. For those magic beans. Max. Jamie, I do know what I'm... Okay, I got there. I think I did. But then there'll be others, and they'll never ever catch up. For crony capitalism, both Jamie and Rocky. Cheers, lads. Cheers, Chris. You legend. Goes to Dan. My net worth has doubled, so no sweat. You're a fucking legend. You're a fucking legend. That's got absolutely no correlation or obligation whatsoever. It's your generosity. Thank you, Dan. We super chat for the beans. Don't forget to those diamond hands. Diamond hands. Those diamond hands. Big shout out to the peeps in the Discord. Fucking right. I was on the Discord earlier, popping in, seeing how people was doing. Everybody keep your spirits up. I'm a grandma too. I'm not old though, says Space Monkey. Cool. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I got like increasingly older down, like big fluxes come in of people at their various times. It seems to be the way the channel grows, and that rather than like slowly but surely, it's in big spurts and like price action often on this thing. You know, it spends longer going sideways or down, and then like up moves are quite fast. I'm saying that, and I've not got any chart on. Boing. Just arrived. We love you, Jamie. Guinness on me, Justin Pickerel. Thank you so much, Justin. That's appreciated. Guinness. Maybe I'll get some Guinness in for Friday. I used to when I had when I was like 9, I think I had pneumonia. It was like atypical pneumonia, and they found it like in my spinal fluid or whatever. And afterwards, like the prescription for me was to drink Guinness. That was what the doctor said. So I was drinking a bottle of Guinness a day when I was like 9. It was brilliant. And I was getting back massages on the NHS. It was brilliant. I didn't even think there was anything wrong with me. That was a good 6 months. Just a good 6 months when you were 9. So, sorry. It's not more. I bought more GME today. Lamau, love Jamie and Rocky. Cockroach Rancher, you freaking entrepreneurial doomslaying bastard, you. Thanks so much. You never have to be sorry, it's not more. It's desperately appreciated, you fucking absolute legend. And thanks to have people like you around is brilliant. You specifically, like, I mean that. Thanks. Never change, Jamie. Thank you very much. Bobbin. Just checking it wasn't Robin. It is definitely Bobbin. Bobbin Penzov. Thank you very much, Bobbin. I can't change. I might get. I can't change. I've tried. And you've been to like professionals and everything to try and help me. I can't change. Just right. True story. Just love you. We love you, Jamie. Thanks, Justin. Well, I could go back and read them all fucking day. Might even fucking do that, actually. Did I do to you yet? I think I did touches of it. I super chatted because I'm a grandma. Doomslayer. Green. Tadpole. Summer day. Shout out to the freaking grandmas. The mums and... Well, the mums, really, right? I don't know about the whole grandma thing. You're just mums. Queen mums or something. Shout out to the grandmas. Rocky on your stream. Tradespotting. Rocky's on my stream. Holy shit, that's where you get really lucky when Rocky's on your stream. Rocky. Let's do it. Rocky's on my stream. Thanks for being here, Rocky. This is very lucky. I should go to the big screen and greet him. Hi. Oh, there's those boring folks in there. They should bugger off for a minute. We're trying to talk to Rocky. Where are you? I'll just go down to this one here. This'll do. Oh my god, look at this. I tell you, like, if wash and go doesn't work, right? It just doesn't. It's a scam. It's a huge scam. Wash and go, huge scam, allegedly. I listen to your ape. There are other shampoos, though. There are. Cracker Croc. Crack Croc. Crack Croc. Crack Croc. That kind of sounds both post-apocalyptic and quite second holiday home at the same time. I don't know. I like it. I listen to your ape speeches a lot to keep me going. You deserve all you get. Our collective will make the world a better place. That's a really nice message. Thank you very much. It's appreciated. Thanks. Because I also don't, I don't know. I go and so much of like all human beings, like my values and that are influenced by what other people's perception and so on. So it is appreciated, and the message means a lot. Thanks very much, Grat Croc. Say that 10 times fast. Tradespotting, was that just Rocky in a trench coat? It might have been. Is he coming where Rocky Outcrop? Hit like, you fannies. There he is. He might be doing a like. This is a like raid. This deserves a like raid in return. 323 people watching. Holy sugars. Why so many people watching? Legends. Let's quickly head over to the Rockacring Outcroppy things. Is he on his stream? Is he? So I can find this live man, Rocky Sean, Outcroppy Sean. Wonder if I'll be seeing myself over on the Rockathron stream. There is me. I am on the Rockathron stream. Look at that. No, you can't see it because I'm on this stream. This is like super massive Inception, and people are probably not going to be big fans. So briefly, there it is. Me, my brother Rocky, me again, and likely this will turn into many iterations of the same once the stream catches up. So we'll not go there. We'll not go here either, because then, imagine the amount of people there's going to be on that version. This is going to quickly go crazy. I don't know if we can go that many levels deep, but we should definitely hit like on the Rocky stream. I'm going to briefly go back over there. So go on there. Here's the Rocky stream. Head down, hit that like button. Legend. Make sure you do. Howdy, brother. Howdy, Outcroptricians. Lots of love. Hit that like button. Zzz. Ha! Right, there's a quick Inception. Will be back shortly. I love Rocky. He's the best fucking person in the world. Tradespotting. Many people watching because we had rather large update. I suspect GME will be with us for around 2 weeks. Cool. You probably then want to hear more about the charts. That's not the charts. That's Rocky Outcrop. This is the charts. Though Rocky Outcrop is a great resource for that. Where can I... Legend Rocky. Look how good looking and intelligent he is. He's checking out that NFTCON and what they've got to say. That's interesting. So if you're interested in that, that's the place to be right now. Thank you very much. See 1 inch. Trays in the background. I better not let them pop up on screen. That would be against the rules. Tradespotting. Catching up a bit before work now. You've got to go work. Eric. Thoughts with you, Eric. Crush it out there without doing any hard work. That's the trick. Tradespotting. You're blocking Rocky's chat. I was having a fun time chatting with myself, lol. What do you mean wrong time? Random man, not enough soul stones. Soul stones? I was going with Inception, but that might be a better analogy there. Well, both apply to GME, don't we? That fucking jar's about to overspill. That's crazy, isn't it? Plus, with the huge ass donations, there's can't really see it, but there's GME coins in there. There's 69ers, and there's weed leaves, all sorts of crazy shit in that jar, I suspect, because of the coins updates. Oh, Ghost of Wolfric Dimslayer, thanks for your reply. What did we look at? You asked me to look at something, Wolfric. What was it again? I'm not sure. Wolfric's probably looking at Rocky because there's got more interesting content at the minute. What was it? Somebody else might remember though. He asked me for something. He's the only person who actually asked for something that I noticed. So I should really go, oh no, I had other things written down. What were they? Sugar. If anyone wants to tell me anything, just let me know what it is and I'll look at it. Go like Rocky's stream, you fannies. Freaking hell, if you've not liked Rocky's stream yet, we're going to get one of those. Anyway, do that, obviously. You're blocking Rocky's chat. I read that. I got that. It's because the actual it's RYCEY asked me to look at. No problem, RYCEY. So, what do I look at? I look at Rolls Royce, but I could just do this on RYCEY. Oh, look at that. Let's just do it on RYCEY though, right? Because have I still got it on these? No, it's on. Have I not even got it on? I do. So this is what Wolfric was talking about, this test here likely, or one of these tests. And then the breakout. This is on a 12-hour time frame, so you might as well on daily. There you go, you've got this gap as well. This is called an abandoned baby. This candlestick is called an abandoned baby. It's one of the most bullish candlesticks you can get. It's the most bullish candlestick you can get at the end of a downtrend is an abandoned baby. That's when price action opens down with a gap. The whole day rests within and below that gap. And the next day opens up back above that gap. And then sometimes you get that, and some people call them, and I laugh at the term, a professional gap, right? And but like what it means is don't look for it to be filled anytime soon. You've got the perfect picture there, right? That's like very, 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 very old TA, right? That's like ancient Japanese TA stuff, that. And then on top of that, you've got a golden cross here where your 50 period moving average going through your 200 period moving average on the daily time frame. That's called a golden cross. It's so, so, so bullish. As it happened and was becoming obvious, these two moving averages themselves are simple moving averages and they're over a long time frame. So any lag is here, it's present, and it's manifest in these two moving averages. And so ahead of this cross is to a degree valid to look back a number of body closes, body closes. And you can see that I'm not muted, I am on camera, the charts are up, everything's working. So you can see that we went through this 200 period moving average here, you know, within that period of look back period where it's relevant with regards to this time frame and these moving averages and this cross. And you can see where price action was at the time of that event taking place. The event didn't start when your psychology would have most liked it to have started, which is exactly as on the moment the cross happens. And not only that, but when you open your computer to look at it, or maybe if you've taken a while to realize it also gives you that little delay until you understand it. That's what you would like, but that isn't what's happened. What's happened is lots of other people have anticipated this and it's factored its way into the prices as the speculation with regards to it picked up and prices looked likely to move higher. Like I say, they just put in this incredibly bullish candlestick pattern here on the daily time frame with this abandoned baby. Sure, you can say, but look, they've got lots of gaps and they've got lots of reasons why lots of different things would happen. And I'd say, yeah, sure, test all of them against the statistical likelihood of an abandoned baby candlestick pattern leading to a break of those significant moving averages on that time frame, and I'll win that bet every time. Like, so that's why it happened, because the chart said this is what always happens. And there's no other reason that it'll ever come out to be more secure, reliable, or robust than that reasoning. Not that you need reasons, it's unreasonable land. So this sort of area was a fantastic test. Also on this daily time frame, you're at the bottom level of the Bollinger Bands. Having tested that and gone up again at the end of that day, you know, the wick at the bottom and the close was inside the Bollinger Band. That's just so very, very, very positive. Add that to this old candlestick thing. Add it to the range here. Look at your time, and like look at that RSI at the time. It was a test that it's just slipped below the center line, then recovered it on a really dramatic steep incline, right? That's relevant. The angle of the incline on this aspect of this part of the RSI and how it's different from its previous moves, other than those that were very bullish, right? That's very relevant. You add that into all the other things we've already said, which are all really, 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 really bullish and really, really statistically reliable and robust way of trading. And you've got like so much money being made here, right? At the same time, that got its own moving average. It went through the center line. As soon as it got to the bullish control zone, it kept fucking going, right? So not only that, but you could have stayed in this and predicted it the whole way up. Boom. House of magic beans for this unreasonable fucking value. Thanks so much, you legend. And so that's why you were able to trade this in a sensible way that made you money with targets that were clear and easy to go to, which at the same time incorporated managing all the anxiety on the top side, the risk on the low side, because you've got your entry points, you've got cut-off points. This is where things would likely go if everything even fell apart and went against you. So you'd be able to work out how much you could lose at maximum to still keep using this type of trading to, no matter what, make money over time. Then you can use the top side targets and the way that I would deliver the information about how to execute, right? Execution of trading comes in two forms, in and out, and learning how to get out in the way that best suits you is very important. And there's a real important philosophy to understand about this, right? On the entry, the execution comes after the risk management, which is defining how much you're going to lose at maximum and then developing an edge that works with a risk reward that fits within that maximum possible loss while delivering frequent and reliable signals to trade so that you can use an edge with a positive ratio that works out over time in combination with a risk reward ratio that delivers money without losing money by being wrong too often or causing you to lose ultimately through attrition and trading fees. And so you need to develop that edge, put it in combination with this type of technical analysis and follow the sort of assets that people on Rocky Outcrop's Discord talk about, or these shows here. And then you will change your life. You'll change your life and you'll change everything around you as well. And you don't have to have a boss, and work is the death of freedom. And you can do this no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what age you are, no matter what disadvantages you've been born with. You're here now and you've got the same, then therefore you've got all the technology you need to trade this. And you can not just this, but anything, and you can start with nothing. And although I can't give you any financial advice, neither legally nor ethically, I'll help you as much as I can. You don't have to give me anything. I'll always do it no matter what. And regardless of YouTube metrics, statistics, donations, or otherwise. And that's like why I started in the first place. Obviously, it's not like it's ever been any different. Anyway, so, right, fuck off, Andrew. Right, so 100, my middle name's Andrew as it happens. Good Scottish name, that. So you've got, what are we talking about? Rolls-Royce, talked about the 138 entry, talked about why it went up afterwards. I mean, people really, and then some information about technical analysis. There's like an oscillator, it's the RSI, Relative Strength Index, teaches you, very useful with regards to divergence, especially. This is your MACD, moving averages, cross divergence. It's a momentum indicator. You can see that you had a number of buy signals on this, all of which previous to now came below the 200, so they're not 100% reliable in and of themselves, but you add that to the RSI moves, and then like the candlestick patterns, and then like the moving average cross, and then the Bollinger Bands, and like I say, that candlestick pattern in particular. And you talk about these aspects of the RSI and how you use it properly. And that, you're 99% of the way there. And then your true money printer, like the true obvious, oh my goodness, you're going to make some money, is this Rocky Outcrops DMI, right? It's Rocky Outcrops free indicator. I don't know if it's still free, better not be, but I think it is. Anyway, you can get it on his Discord for free. It's it's the best indicator I've ever used in my life. And you go through this, like, look at that cross there, DI plus, got them through the DI minus. It was emphatic, obvious, and incredibly deafeningly loud saying buy. And that came at this part of this downtrend, this open, like an absolute gift, right? If you've got this coming through, if your ADX then turns up to confirm the move, it's beautiful. And it all happened and ahead of this candlestick, right? So there's it's a leading indicator that came ahead of all of this other stuff and told you to look out for it in advance. And it said, there's a huge move coming. There's a huge move coming. Not only that, right? It defined here at this point, it flashed and said price action will return to this point when it leaves. So when it gave you this potential entry, right, with divergence on it and your ADX looking to strengthen, but the trend not changing after this recovery, you could have combined this indicator, that flash, this entry you're getting given by the crosses and by your recovery, and then the finishing, opening, closing above your horizontal, and then being at that place within this Bollinger Band. That's the entry from this indicator, which then at this point tells you, before anything else happens, you're about to get really rich. Then all those other indicators that I mentioned all stack together. And this is all looking at a daily time frame, right? And it's not even going through time frames. Loads of like people would be like scrambling to talk about the fucking whatever, the VWAP on 5 minutes or something, right? And like, fair enough, but this is better, right? This will make you rich. That's fun and all, and I like it, but this is better for making you rich, and it's Rolls Royce we're looking at here, right? So you're only trading this to make yourself rich. And so, right, unless you've got some strange belief that like the new modular reactor technology, which literally is going to make so much money for shareholders in Rolls Royce, unless you really, really desperately believe that that is the way to clean energy, then you're likely not investing in Rolls Royce for any other reason, right? Other than to make money. And like in that sense, you're not just investing in Rolls Royce to make money. It's also the nature of the way you go about things is likely that you like to invest in things with a degree of security. And then on top of that, you like to invest in things, and I'll just show you now, to go invest things with huge opportunity, right? Huge opportunity. Companies that are maybe perhaps likely guaranteed by the British government in terms of their debt. This one is. And they've paid off so much of that is outstanding debt to the point that they're making massive opportunities for people. See, there's something perhaps starting on that channel, so we'll check it out in a second. But Rolls-Royce, what's it likely to do? In the long term, test this 200 period moving average. On RYCEY, that's at 7.41. Right, it's at 193 at the minute, and you've been getting entries on this thing since it was like, what, 120.22? And there was like even more value if you were trading RR, as I am, on LSE, London Stock Exchange. Are you expecting an anticlimactic? I don't know, you'd have to have expectations for it to feel that way, but it is what it is. So that's the Rolls-Royce TA and the big opportunity on there, and there's an inverted head and shoulders. There's a number of other things on the go that could take you up to crazy moves. There's your first start of that, above the 50 period moving average, very positive. Aim for the 200. You've got this line coming in around your 50% horizontal at 345. That's one of the things to look to quickly. If you take this Fibonacci from your low, drop it in quickly, high to the low, look up and see there's your golden pocket. It's up at 597. So there's a number of targets you're aiming for, and the first one is in at around 345. Your next one is in at around that golden pocket, and by that stage likely your 200 period moving average moves there. So the question is it this? Is it here? Is it higher? And before then, do we need a lead test of these supports, or do we get it after breaking through this one and go on up? And that's like essentially what you're looking at on Rolls Royce. On a 15-minute time frame, it's not quite as obvious, but sure, you can look at it and spend all day there. Right, so GME. And like, so you see, right, how I can do that on Rolls Royce, and I can give it and deliver the TA, and I can talk about execution, and I can give you lessons that no doubt will help when it comes to divesting or liquidating a degree of your position holdings in GME as and when the time comes, right? Which is what people are dreaming about doing, right? As and when time comes, how do you release something that you have deliberately and purposefully atrophied to the best of your ability? Right, how do you do that? Well, you have to know how to execute both sides of the trade. So there's another lesson for looking at Rolls Royce, even if you're not trading it yourself, which I just don't have to, right? Not financial advice. And if you haven't tuned into this channel for a while, you likely don't know that we're in this hugely bullish harmonic that we've got on the 2-day time frame GME. Put it on auto, and how many people are watching it at the minute? 282, so a big chunk less than it was, but still more than average. So perhaps you haven't seen this TA recently, in which case you won't be aware of the fact that, as you can see on the chart, and are now aware because it's right in front of you, there's potentially in this equal opportunities triangle where you could break out to the top side or the bottom side. It's got a diagonal demand and supply line that puts us in this pennant shape. I speculate that we're in this harmonic now, as Corey pointed out on Rocky's Discord, that this Gartley pattern, right, it's a harmonic trading pattern, takes us to the 618 Fibonacci extension within it. I can tell you that then will lead on to a measured move from, or be in and around a measured move from the, pardon me, a different pattern, which then before it you'll go through the breakout of this wedge that we're in at the right hand leg of this harmonic. Right, I'll expand it out so there's at least something on the screen that you can see what I'm saying. Here's this wedge, right? You see the horizontals, the diagonal demand and supply that come at the top and the lower end, right? And it's a bullish accumulation pattern. Talk more about that later, but within that you've got a breakout move from the top to the bottom. It's there's a moving horizontal by accident. Now this is for people who've seen like TA recently will know what I'm talking about, but if you're tuning in for the NFT thing, which I'll get to in a minute, this is what you've been missing out on. There's this first touch to the top, bottom, first touch to the top. It comes at the start of this leg of this wedge. It's on the right hand side of price action within a harmonic that's a Gartley, right? And there's the D point at the bottom there. It came in exactly where we all predicted it would do. The measured move takes you up to this horizontal level of resistance at 193 or thereabouts. You need to break that for it's also the golden pocket or the 50% retrace, that zone on the Fibonacci sequence that takes you from the high to the low of this wedge, and you're looking for price action to move out with it in a nice way. You've got 1, 2, 3 candles here on the 2-day time frame. That's white soldier candlestick formation, likely leads to further extension of the move, even if there is a slight retrace within it. Those levels that are, you can see now, 179 and spot change, and then below 176, there are the most likely areas. If there is a bullish retrace, you could go and test low as 169 again at any stage. If that fails, then you're looking down at 151, and those are the levels, right? Not 161, not 172, not all the other levels. It's those levels from where we are now. That's what's defined as relevant below. This is where we are at the minute, and what's relevant at here right now. And above it, you're looking at that Fibonacci golden pocket, this 50 period moving average, this horizontal level of resistance, and the extension on, the measured move on that wedge that breaking out there. And why is that likely to happen? Well, look down, you can see more of these wedges, right? 1, 2, 3 of them on the RSI. Price action might have seemed confusing at the time. Well, here's the picture book version of what was going on to make it obvious. This was a fallen wedge. It's even more obvious on the daily time frame. Doesn't help me, never really does. Now ignore any of the mess and focus on these horizontal, these stupid Jamie, stop saying that. These downward sloping diagonal lines here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? 3 sets of them. And price action within it. This is a bullish accumulation pattern. It's on the RSI. It's perfectly acceptable to do this on here or price action. We broke out of it, retested it, went on, tested a horizontal, went up to the next one, right? That was between one peak, another peak. And then we did the same thing again, broke out of it, retested it, went on, tested that horizontal, went up, did exactly the same thing, another peak. Now we've done it again, test the horizontal. Where is that horizontal test come in at on price action? You're the one that I found that knows his shit. Thank you, Justin. So where does that come in at here? Well, that test of a horizontal level on the RSI, where does price action find itself when that happens? This is the question we ask ourselves when we're doing technical analysis, right? And that's not predicting the future. It isn't. And people think that it's about that. And then like, it doesn't work, right? Well, that's fine. You can think that. And that's not what it's for. It's for lighting the path ahead, the route of likely probabilities. And so you define that using statistical probabilities and developing an edge that works over time. And what I'm talking about are all things that come from mine, right? Which I spent years learning and improving, tried loads of different things. People like, have you heard of an indicator? And I probably have, and probably tested it for a month, and it probably wasn't very good, and then it probably doesn't fit in here. Andrew, another Andrew, thanks Andrew. Anyway, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about there, distracted, yeah. So it's a technical analysis, so you've got a problem to solve, right? Imagine you're an engineer, because that's what you're doing here, right? So there's a problem to solve, and you're going to solve it using technical entities, right? That's how you do your technical analysis. And here there's some technical entities I'm putting out for you in the chart. You define what that entity is and how it's most commonly traded successfully, and then add that in using indicators or whatever it is that dictates those turns and times that price action will be relevant for you, right? You develop your edge, and so a combination of indicators. These ones are particularly good. Rocky Outcrops, RSI, big improvement on RSI. Rocky Outcrops, DMI, credible, life-changing, right? The changes that are there, that and this, anyway, right? Just it's up to you if you want it or not. 196 is that level. If you were wondering, that above there, there are a number of other reasons where price action will be interesting. If we are up here on price action at the $220 when this horizontal retest happens, will that be this current level we're looking at 195? Will that be where price returns to and tests? Or will we come back lower? Will we not get that far beforehand, in which case, and I say that far, I mean up at the top here at the 217, meeting this downward sloping diagonal supply line and a new horizontal level and at the C level of this Gartley. Will that happen? Because you'd be above the 618. That's the first and most likely and most reliable area for price action to go to in a successful move out of this D point on this Gartley. It's a harmonic pattern. I said that already, right? Get up there. Very, very good. But this D point and a successful move from this pattern at its full extension takes you way up past the A, right? Looking left horizontally, that's 230 something. It takes you past the 1414, which is at 241 bucks, and it takes you up to the 1618, which is at 255 bucks. And at that point, you've got serious questions to ask, right? Do you come back and retest this? If this all happens the way I've just said, I'll get picked up, I'll get taken away, and there's no way you'll ever see me in the world. Like, there's no way, right? Or else I'll somehow be anointed as something crazy, right? So it gets up to that 618. At that point, serious questions to ask. Does price action come back down and test this equilateral triangle idea? Or do you get a measured move out of this equilateral triangle that takes you up into some other sort of area, and then price action puts in some other overall formation? And will that be a new formation or something that we can already define as having a likely outcome? And I would suggest that that is a yes, right? Because the measured move from this horizontal takes you up to this pattern up around here, around 330 bucks, right? Which is then another test of, and completing for sure, a third touch on the top of an ascending triangle. And that's what I've been speculating for a while. That ascending triangle itself can have various times where it might break out, right? It might be this number 1 point on the Fibonacci-based time zone that comes from your low to your high and has defined all of the peaks before and all of the troughs. Look, here's the first touch, 1. Here's the second touch, at a high. Here's the next one, at a low. You know, nobody else does this shit. Literally no one else does this shit. Look, nobody else does this shit, right? This is like infinite risk all times, packaged up, put a nappy on it, wrapped in a bow and delivered to you. So nice, right? And prickly free and that. It's incredible, right? Covered in baby powder and everything. Why do people donate? Fuck off. Yeah, and that anyway, right? Like, I don't know, right? But like, sometimes I tell myself it's because of I can help them make money, right? Other times I don't know, right? The truth is I don't know, because there is no obligation. So like, it's just nice people. And then anyway, so you've got this, what was I talking about? The measured move, the ascending triangle, and then you've got a time when it might break out, and it's got like a 79% chance of breaking to the top side in ascending triangle, right? They're amazing. They're way better than descending triangles, way better. And it's not just that isn't it in and of itself, right? I don't give a shit about the statistical probabilities if it's like if it's not properly applied. You end up and formations like this, pattern trading, right? That's stupid. What you want to be doing is understanding the psychology that pattern is supposed to be representing, and then verify that elsewhere, right? Because it in and of itself isn't going to make you money. It's going to lose you money, because people paint patterns on the charts deliberately to catch naive amateur or new traders who think like, oh, I've seen this and I'll do that and I'll figure it out because I know the secret now. It's like, no, that's not the secret. That's their way of tricking you. That's the market psychology that's painted on the charts that they don't want you to see, that they're trying to hide, that you're looking for. And it's the ascending triangle, right? Where they're hoping you'll see an equilateral triangle and speculate that it could move to the downside. That's complete fucking stupid, TA. It may well happen eventually, but the statistical likelihood of it at this point is fucking stupidly small, right? Like, literally is stupidly small. Like, just barely in double digits, if that, right? It is. That's the truth, right? Now, I shouldn't be saying things like this because it's very close to financial advice, but then, like, so everything I fucking say is, right? So anyway, if I'm going to get away with this stuff, eventually it's going to come back, right? It's, but I'm trying my best. Like, I think I'm on the right side of things. So 1.618, sorry. 1.618, the extension of this harmonic and that and the Gartley, and then you go on and you look to the higher moves, right? Ascending triangle, this is a breakout zone. Chances are it breaks up and then it puts in a new high, right? Or equal to its previous high. And I don't mean on the body close, body close. Not at this stage, nah. That stage it's going up to your wick high and you're looking at 493 bucks. And then some. Right, because at that point you get a weekly close open above 343, fantastic, right? And then we're back to talking about the things that most people were back tuning in when I was defining that kind of that side of the TA for all the people that were desperate to know about all those side of things. But it is likely that there'll be shitloads of areas where you can accumulate more and do good, efficient trading throughout here. Should you break out of this at any stage, these horizontals will define where wicket lows and body lows come in at. Those horizontals will be interesting over a period of time. Should we trace along the upward sloping demand line here, it may well be, though, that violent, quick moves that are hard to anticipate unless you're watching along, and very difficult to trade if you're just watching them evolve yourself on the charts, will take us very, very fast to the top side of these places, right? That first one being the 618 of this minor move, right, of this Fibonacci, just higher than we already got in a couple of thrusts. Then it's this downward sloping diagonal. Then it's your 1618 and the A point of this harmonic. Open and close, open again above there. Then you're looking at the ascending triangle, a measured move from this isosceles equilateral. And then, like, right, chill your boots, have a sandwich, we'll all take a breath, and we'll see where the retraces come into, right? And if they don't, all the better. But I don't think it will have escaped orbit at that point. We'll see. It's all about weekly tests when you're up here trying to make definitive moves to the top side. That and Bollinger Bands on daily and 2-day time frames and specific signals given off by them. So, you know, and I've talked about all of that hundreds of times now. So if you haven't seen it, it's because you've not been tuning in on the regular. 279 people. Cool. Thanks so much for everybody who's watching. So that's the GME TA, and we'll go back and see what these people are saying over here now then.
Without diving into too much detail, that's sort of how we built it from ground up.
Without diving into too much detail.
Kind of like this would be a general question geared towards everyone. Where do you guys feel like the play economy is currently right now, and where do you kind of see like some of the?
I don't know who any of these people are, but I can tell you that Michael is sat in the Bitcoin lounge with a Bitcoin thing above his head, like that, a big huge Bitcoin buzzer. That's interesting. He's in space or something. That's pretty cool. So that's my commentary. See the one guy down there, he's doing security. This guy down in the bottom left here, he's doing security. And I don't know about everybody else. Let's hear what they've got to say.
Provide access to other people who otherwise wouldn't have access to these types of assets. Really facilitate this exponential growth that we saw on our user base. But I think, you know, player still.
That's the guy in the top right speaking right now. I totally didn't expect him to have that voice that sounded that way.
Things like, you know, graphical fidelity or quality, and also gameplay mechanics that exist today. And so we're seeing a lot of like turn-based games, art style games across blockchain gaming today. Again,
He said, Myers, eat your heart out. Well, that couldn't be any more boring than it was, right? And we saw it earlier when it was dead boring. So what else are we going to do? Unless you want to go back to that, happily tell me. It just doesn't seem relevant at the minute. Are these the guest speakers? I don't think so. The guest speakers were supposed to be in at 9:20 my time. It's now 10, so is it 4:20 your time? I don't know. We'll go back there if you like. I mean, I'm trying to monitor it and go back when it's interesting. I could stick on it and explain the various concepts they're talking about if you'd like to. GME 184 spot 90. So we'll go down to that 1 minute time frame. There's your 200 period moving average. We said it was going to go here in post market, and here it is now. Here. Isn't that amazing? There you go. There's it, so you can see it and verify it with your own eyes. He said it would go somewhere, and it went there. He even said when it would happen, and here he is, post about it as usual. Anyway, whatever. There's some more good news. It did what I said it would. What else is everybody saying? How do I put Weed Leaf in GME Cup? You donate 420. I think it has to be 420 exactly. There's 499. That might work. Oh, that one. Look, did you see it come out? Oh, one got knocked out. Did you see that? Some people will find this grotesque. I'm having a laugh though. Yeah, you can see there's a GME, there's a weed one there. There's a GME logos that come out too, but that's stupid. They're stupid. There is one in there. It's just that the graphic doesn't work very well, so it flashes on and off. It also has a very bouncy effect. So when things bounce out, it's partly the gravity of those new entrants and the bounciness of the GME coin, which is half hidden. There's also probably AMC coins that aren't working properly. You know, probably. don't know why these little ones keep showing up. It's because I don't have a coin drawn for every possible donation. I donate, hoping Jamie will invest the money into the infrastructure needed for an absolutely bitchin' OnlyFans site. I've already got, like, this, my spinning wheel is already more innovative, more interactive, and more interesting than any other spinning wheel on any other streaming platform in the world. It's already better, and we built it ourselves here. I say we, so that everyone feels included, but it was all me. With donations, obviously, though, I suppose we. But, like, I did all the work and cut my finger and stuff. And it's a huge fucking awesome wheel that spins when chat demand it to. And it's got lights that flash when chat command them to. And it's all inside a huge barrel. Looks epic. And it's Trace Flushing Fridays and Tadpole Tuesdays is when we crack it out. And in the meantime, we keep it professional and talk about TA and help people make money, because all the other stuff's just about helping people feel good, you know. And I don't know what to do on YouTube, right? Like, part of it is, like, tell people where the prices are going, how to do things, but also it's huge infinite risk, and taking the moment, like, taking that step and doing that, it's all on you. And I'm not there with you at the or standing over that void, telling you it's fine, saying there's actually an invisible bridge there you can't see with you at the time. I'm not, right? You're doing it on your own, likely. And so the risk and the responsibility and the danger is all yours, and so is all of the reward. And so there's only so far I can go with helping people with that ethically and financially anyway, because I can't always be right. And so it's about making people feel good, I think. That's the idea. People that I think should feel good, which is people who invest in GME. So that's the idea. Boing, 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 bing bong, press is wrong. So, yeah. What did we talk about other than that with the evolution of the TA here? I was kind of hoping that these people would talk about other stuff. Something interesting. I don't know. I will kind of think so. What's Jamie's... Shut up, Jack. You're saying what's Jamie's opinion on computer share. Shut up, Jack. You're not really asking that. You're pulling on my leg. I know you are. I know you are. That's not possible. It's not possible that people are still asking me that. It's not possible. For all the fabulous genius teachings on how to be smart at TA, love your body. Shit, who said that one? Is it Kim? Is it Kim? Ah, Kim, you're so good. Thanks, Kim. Kim's brilliant. Thanks, Kim. Tradespotting, can you look at a bit at naked? If I can betcha I can, man. Tradespotting, can you analyze the GME Daily? Yeah, cool. I'll just do that. I did not do that. I did the daily for a real long time, Damien. Santos, I did it fucking loads there. Somebody got any idea? Shit, I didn't start the timer, eh? I am such an idiot sometimes. Well, there it goes from now on. If you can see it, is it even on the screen? Yeah, I'm an idiot, man. Ah. Yeah, I did the TA on the daily, all the TA on the daily. Looking at 196. If you can get a 4-hour open and close above 183, spot 93, right? A 4-hour open and close. So, like, you've not had any of those yet, right? This may have been a close, but that is not what came first in that sequence. It was the open, then a close, then an open. Above 183, then you're looking to 195. And it may well be that the velocity of that move on the same day takes you to 220. I'd expect a retrace if that was the case. If you pause here, then it may well go up to here, in which case you've got your TA for the end of the week. But you want to know, like, the reliable areas and, like, the reasons for that, and then how to work out yourself in future, and then, like, to actually understand why I said those things, so that you know I'm not just talking shit. Then just go back and watch it. It'll take like 20 minutes. It's good content. Like, actually, it's good content. Pam! Pam! Love you, Jimmy. Pam! Pam, Pammy. Pam, 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 Pammy. Pam, Pamity, Pam. Pam! Tradespotting open is she topped out. What? Open is she topped out on this last move. Retrace and some more upside. Open. Shit, I'm now missing things that I should be writing down. Somebody wanted me to look at something else too. GME Daily, and then just before that, somebody asked me to look at. Thanks, Enoch Kim. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, Dan. Shit, what did somebody else ask me to look at? Now I've already fucking forgotten because I went and did the GME thing. Open. Oh, it was naked. It's right there. Naked, that's not it. That's JPM. Naked, came back down. Retest. That was this breakout area. Tested it again. Recovered that horizontal. Now you've got this potential diagonal coming in here. I'm not sure if I pay much attention to that. That's just a drawing I did to see this is a likely cut below. That would be then this 50% retrace. It got the handle within it too. So it had that, and then likely the next move does take you up to the top side of this previous resistance again. All depends on that positive trend on the Rocky Outcrop DMI, positive sign on the RSI, and then the momentum on that most recent moves. Funny, that's positive, right? So that, and then to see that with this breakup of the RSI, that's very positive. Seen that loads of times. This looks like it's going up. Whoa. Lovely Doing Pam says, NFT thing was a flop, but you did have higher views than normal. Thank you. Next hour is on me. Boom. $20. Whoa, go for it. Next hour is on me. Ah, see what you did there. Nice work. Nice work, Wolfric. Can you spin them to be interesting? Lisa says, Jamie, can you spin them to be interesting? Do I have a camera on that area at the minute? Could I? Jamie, can you be interesting for once, Jamie? Let me see. Can I be interesting all of a sudden? Just because people might not have recently seen the wheel and know how much fun it is. Diddle-ding, diddle-ding, boom, 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 boom. Here it is, right? It's way more interesting than those sods. So it's going to move over their faces and be instead off top of my head. Now, I'll keep it below my head and I'll move those people. They might come back and be interesting, right? I don't know. I literally don't know. Can I spin it to be interesting myself? I could. I can connect it so that you guys can spin it, but then you'll either be on Tadpoles or Drink and Chat, and then people will be like, oh, and really you should be tuning in on Fridays for the drinking thing and that, but I can spin it myself now. No, I'll let you guys spin it. Fuck it. No, I won't, because it'll have to turn that program on the other way. I'll spin it myself in a minute just for the fun, just to be interesting, right? Because that's what it is. Unfortunately, I can't do it all on personality alone. I've got these gimmicks. Gimme. It was naked. I know. I did it. I see you're a little bit behind Undead Doomslayer, Miffle Miggle Tilgled. Maybe this is the nature of living in a slightly dead dimension. Ghost of Over Doomslayer, thank you. To be honest, him and Rocky are the only YouTubers I wanted to check before I consider doing anything. Yo, Jack. Cool, yeah. I thought, because I know you've seen your loads, obviously. So what I was thinking was, you were joking, because maybe like, well, no joke, right? Maybe 20 streams ago or something, I already started to think maybe it was a joke that I was being asked this so often. Like, I'd be asked it and I'd spend 15 minutes answering it. And then I'd look at chat and somebody would say, yo, Jamie, how's it going? I'd say, like, good. And they'd be like, what do you think about this computer share thing? And I'd be like, haha, you're joking. And then, like, that happened so many times, like ages and ages ago. And then since then, I've thought people were joking. And then I've got, like, into the stream and they've explained, no, I'm not joking. And I've been like, oh, right, okay. And then other people have then started picking up and making the joke. And now it's just a total joke. Now when people say it, I'm like, haha, that's that joke. Because you see what I'm saying, right? We're making a joke about that because it's about the whole thing. So if anyone actually comes along and actually wants to know my opinion on it, like somebody probably have to tell you in chat because I'll think it's a joke. What the hell is computer share? Says Daniel Kim. That's definitely a joke with 420. This definitely is a joke. That's a joke, right? I have to just assume it's a joke too, because I can't possibly know. And seriously, honestly, I find it difficult. Comprehension on that. And I think other people mean things they don't mean all the time. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid in the head. Anyway. So we wanted to see the wheel spin. This is like a proof that I'm not boring. Look, I'm not boring, people. Look, I can spin this wheel. Honest to goodness. I swear to goodness. I can spin it. Somebody said to me right on Facebook that like they were trying to start flirting with me, and they said they just messaged me again now. I said, oh god, I can't believe it. Anyway, they said I didn't realize you were 38. And I was like, yeah, it's just a recent thing. And they said, what do you mean? It's like, oh my God, you're so dry. Your chat is so dry. Like, I wasn't going to talk to you anyway. I just thought I was being funny. And then they said that. Anyway, here goes the wheel. I can hear it, but you can't. You know why that is, don't you, Jamie? That's freeze cam. That's window. Here it is, here. There is the wheel. Oh, you just didn't get to see it spinning, so I have to try it again. What would that have been? Chat shot. Well, you're lucky that this is just a dry run. Whoa, look at that, look at that, look at that. Yeah, so anyway, everybody will have left by now. So everyone here has seen the wheel. You all know what Trade Sploshing Fridays are all about. There it is. Ding, 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 though. I do love it. Come on, where are you going to end? Chat shot again. Nope, back to Jamie. Well, I have to change the angle of it. It's been a little bit wiggledy. Chat shot again. Hey, maybe I just keep it the angle it is. It seems to be working out fine if you ask me. Tradespotting, here we go. The hard question. Feck's sake, Stefan. Hey, Jamie, would you be open? Oh, maybe not. To upping the transparency of some of your drawings to your charts. Upping the transparency on some of your drawings so the charts don't get so lost. Upping the oh, so you can see what's going on. Would I be open to doing that? Hey, that's a very nice way to ask. Yeah, you know, can do, of course, yeah. Sure thing. I'll do what? Oh, I can do this one fairly easily. I don't really need all these drawings on as well, but this is background. That's not what I'm looking for. Use one color, drop it down. Still be lots of drawings on here, and people will get confused. Confused. What else could I do? I suppose I could. How do I mean, I know this looks confusing to people who've got no idea what's going on, and it looks tangled and too much, and who knows what's happening. And like, you know, if I was trying to make a trading decision, I wouldn't want all of this on my chart either. It's just like where we've been in that, and when I like go down to like the 1 minute, for example, and hit the auto button, there's nothing on the charts, right? Like you can't see anything. Then you get just the Bollinger Band and the moving averages. I suppose that does look quite busy all of a sudden. I'll get rid of the Bollinger Bands there. So that's still clean and clear. Go up 5 minutes. That still works okay. And you can spread it out here. We're on naked, so I'll put this back to GME, is what we're really talking about for the clear clarity. The 5 minutes, everything still looks okay-ish. Go off extended hours now, back to regular. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do this over a period of time, not bore people on the stream, but I can, yeah, make things slightly more easier to see, price action more obviously definable, and then be consistent with the things I'm marking so that there's at least some sort of ledger for people to understand. Legend, key, whatever, you know, all those words work. Right, so 1618, 255, that's the next text test of GME. Anyone else want to look at anything in particular? Do we want to look at AMC? I don't know if people who tune in here still care about AMC. It looks quite good, like opportunity-wise. It's up 2.96%, 37.91. Continuation of that move. Meeting the 382, having recovered the 236. That's like wicks above this area. Body closes within it again. I don't know, if you just want to focus on it, we can. It's just when there's more people back, I assume that a lot of these are like my core viewership guys and gals who all obviously like GME. So still happy to defer if you the audiences would rather have that. We can stick with GME for a bit more. Tradesman, how about Sam? Sam. Has it done anything? Oh, D was talking about Dixie and other things. Like, this was a dead interesting, eh? This move here, bonk, bonk. Did we have a short position on this marked out? Doesn't seem like it. Anyway, super interesting moves coming here. What, and there's like the other side of it, right? What is, Sam it was. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, SAVA. Somebody asked about SAVA recently. No, it wasn't. It was the Jiu-Jitsu guy was saying good entries on it, was it? There's a good entry, aye. There's a take profit target too. But there's bigger moves on the card here. There's a 200 period moving average at 77. And then there's your golden pocket up at 91 and whatnot. And this sort of thing, you know, even if it was going to go bad in the future at some point, could have huge moves on the target. It's up 6% today. Look at that. It's quite nice. Congratulations. What else am I missing out on? Sam, that was it. Where is it here? I know I did this dead recently, so... Ugh. Ah, there it is. The Boston Beer Company. Hello, charts. Fancy meeting you here, charties. Charties. Oops, you don't need an RSI that size, no matter who you are. It's on a 4-hour time frame. We've met you on the 4-hour there today, Sam. How are you, Sam? How are you doing? Ah, shit up. Well, you had a potential entry there. Very tight move. This was like late at night we did for Jen when he came back on, I think. This was that one. Super goes to the Jiu-Jitsu guy. Thanks, Jiu-Jitsu guy. What did the message say? No charts, you fanny. Oh, shit. Justin Wu from DiFi was at the summit. Speaking to John Oswald. What are these two saying?
Been in gaming for about 15 years. Probably the most formative.
Okay. He's been in gaming for 15 years. Good for him. I haven't played a good fucking computer game in 15 years. That's the truth. I haven't. Fucking overrated pish. Right, so much of it is, like the best things, the best games are the older ones, but I think. Well, that's because I'm an old fucking idiot, isn't it? What am I looking for here? Charge. That's it. And that doesn't need to be so big anymore. I was only looking at it temporarily for the interest. Ah, shit, moving everything now. Right. So we did this late at night. Well, it was speculative. Well, it was opportunity. And ran into risk. Supposed to celebrate, right? But very tight trade. What did I say at the time? I mean, do you really need a 40 to 1 on this? What was I saying? You know, the truth is, like, well, it's a significant horizontal and you don't need to hold it lower, depending on where you entered. So you got to the golden pocket. Why would I have not done that? Did I do that? Anyone asked me at the time wanted to say, look, Jimmy, it's okay. You actually said that's where you should enter, but you drew it on the left the other one. I was like, but some people want that. Hopefully it was like that. Because the entry there, well, that's an entry. We just drew it on it and said, this would be your entry now. But the markets were closed, weren't they, when I was doing this? Must have been, right? It has to have been. Anyway, I'm not going to move it. It's not the point, isn't about that thing. Bugger rough anyway, right? What I'm thinking, sugar, now I'm doing all this stuff. What I think about this, that's that retrace, that's the 618, and that's their 236 then. So you're aiming for here if you can hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very funny. 5, 4, 3. It's 1, 2 actually, but anyway, that is quite funny. 5, 4, 3, spot 1, 2 is where this would be looking to go from here. That's a doji candle, 4-hour time frame, the bottom of a downtrend. Well, the bottom of a move, likely at least to move it to the top side. It isn't a downtrend on that time frame. Put on the hourly. You can see that there's a golden cross on hourly time frame coming in there. price actions below both moving averages as the cross is happening. This itself could constitute, the first half of a test because we're already here, though we are below it, and that's not really positive. Let's see how it goes over the next couple of days. If you rise up, it could be that this would look like the low of this move, and you'd be able to put in a retrace above the 236. That's your high. That's your low. Your 236 comes in at 29.64, 529.64. So open and close 4 hours above that. You'll also be on the top side of this golden cross, and you'll likely then push yourself above the 50, get held by this horizontal at 539. Might be a retrace, and then to the top side, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, apes. Or no, this isn't ape thingy, but whatever. It's the Boston Beer Company. I mean, I'll show you why this is interesting overall in a minute, and why like tiny little stop losses on this sort of a trade on a 40-1 on an asset like this is absurd way to trade, really. So I do like a lot of chocolate in my biscuit, and there is no point in holding things if they're going through horizontals, and one trade opened lower is the same, but better as one that holding that. Why take the pain? It's the same, ultimately the same trade back up anyway. Hard lesson people learn, but stop losses hitting them is not a bad thing. It's just about working on your age, help with that on the Rocky Discord, especially when I get things out of the way in terms of the projects I'm working on. If we can get them actually all finished, then I'll have more time to help people like the one-on-ones and whatnot, and that in the Discord, and that'd be good. So anyway, what are we talking about here? It's the Boston Beer Company. The retrace on this thing, the golden pocket here, another test of that area would be a good entry. You've already put in a touch of bullish divergence though, so when this does make it above the 236 on this most recent fib that I just drew in, sorry, where is that? Yeah, 52964 or whatever it was I said. You're above that moving average, you're above that cross, you're above the Fibonacci level, be able to define this as a local low. You'd be able to say this is bullish divergence. At that point, your RSI would probably be above the center line. It's already covered its own moving average and put in a bullish divergent low. Assuming this doesn't crack lower right now, that is already bullishly divergent. It's in this positive move, which looks to be breaking horizontals that are significant. Recover that 200 period on that 1 hour there. It's the start of good things for this at the end of that trend. Back up to the 4 hour. You can see where that 200 is there at 751. That seems like a big move. There's a big gap above that up at the golden pocket on this most recent high on this time frame down to the low where you've come into so far. Golden pocket retrace, there's nothing. We've also already seen the reliable nature of how to trade those things on the smaller term time frames and the last legs of these moves. To put that into a bigger picture, it's the same thing. 200 period moving average, you get above that. Before there at 768, you've got this 382 from the overall Fibonacci you need to get through, which is in line with your horizontal resistance. You'll likely find that to be a liquidity zone. Perhaps at that point you have a retest. It also would be beyond your 2618 on that previous fibs move. So there's the area same for there. 659, 713, 200 period moving average, wherever it happens to be when you get there. Then above it, you might put it 808. I'd look when you're at this area and think it'll just fill the whole gap. As you can see, that would take you up to the 618. And beyond that, depending on how long it takes you to get there, I wouldn't be interested in trading this. After that, I'd look to look at it again in other ways, though it may leave you with a good way of managing it. If you just follow the bottom side of that trade and take it to the top side, you can see here when we look more of the price action on the charts, get rid of the oscillators, this is just a huge straight linear progression to making people money, making them more money, making them more money. And this massive, 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 never-ending uptrend in an absolutely beautiful asset and a beautiful chart. They don't get much nicer than this. Economic disasters mean that this thing hits moving averages, does trend checks. But apart from that, it goes up, it goes right, it goes up, it goes right, it goes up, and it goes right again. Boston Beer Company. No idea what their drinks that they own are, but they seem to be popular because this chart is just fucking killing it. and at some point it'll be at 2587. It'll just fucking happen. It will be. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be for a while, but it's going there eventually, and there'll be some great entries on it. And that's why I'm saying it's silly to have tight stop losses on a thing like this. You're just looking for certain entries, and you are trading it, and it dictates how you enter and where you execute and how you do those sort of things. But you know, you keep your top side off. Like you don't ever limit what you can make to the top side. That's how to be a good trader. You manage your risk by keeping it so that you can only lose so much, but you can make anything if you let your winners run. Though you can reduce your exposure and get increased capital efficiencies and therefore better capital formulation, aka get rich, if you do take profit and then compound those gains by putting that money in other things, which is really good way to trade and change your life. It's difficult if you're trading for a living and you don't have other sources of income and you don't have a big account, because you probably, most people out there, got older demographic and that, will have some responsibilities, whether those be other human beings or, you know, big financial considerations. Then it takes slightly longer. So you want to look for moves that don't also come with opportunity cost, because you yourself have experienced enough of that and would rather be more efficient with the time you're using for all sorts of different reasons, right? This is part of what I expect my audience are slightly like in comparison to other YouTubers' audiences. Projection, but like positive at least. So, Boston Beer Company looks half decent. What else were people talking about? Have I missed something? Look at all those trace points. Charts not visible. What? Wait, no, they are. Charts not visible. Show me your drawings. Tradespotting, I missed the Age of Empires. Surely I'm on charts. What? Just wondering what you're going indicators are for crypto. Dink says, I use the moving average and the fibs. Not sure how well the DMI is brilliant and RSI work there yet. They were fucking brilliantly. Thoughts, Tradespotting, let's put chocolate on this biscuit. My crypto indicators, they're not all that different from my other indicators. Think you'll see me, the way I present them on YouTube is with these ones until people get used to them, which I imagine will take a long time to really get. Mind you, it took me longer to learn it than maybe I'm able to teach. I don't know. But that is a long question. I will think about it and answer slowly. Anybody, and over time, anybody ever play Stick RPG? Stick RPG. This was my introduction to trading in their terminal simulation. Why do we have NFTCON in the background? Are we expecting GME next month? Is it still on in the background? Can you hear the sound? Or no, the sound's off. And it's not on this screen apparently. Am I not broadcasting the screen? I think I'm broadcasting. I'm supposed to be looking at the charts right now. Tradespotting, thank you kindly, sir. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Sean, right? I think. Thanks. Or did I say that wrong? Jay, Tradespotting, serious question. Do you have any must-reads for learning TA? I know Pi-Fi swears by technical analysis of financial markets. I'm not even sure if I'm thinking of. I'm not sure if I even know that one for sure. What have you recommended? My recommended are curated list of books along with Rocky Outcrop. They're on his Discord, and the number of first 6 or 7 of them that I'd recommend are on r/Tradespotting. I'd recommend Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I'd recommend Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. This is a brilliant book. Those 2. And they'll learn about the infinite risk and the things that will attract you to make the wrong decision. Your charts are up now. Thanks, Space Monkey. AMC, please, and thanks, says Barrett. That's nice. Thanks, thank you, Tristan. You're welcome, Dink. Though I did feel like I let you down not answering you straight away, but I'll answer you over time when it pops into my head of good answers. Tradespotting just jumped over from Rockies. Thanks for what you did earlier. It meant the world to me. Renegade Red Squirrel. Shut up, my friend. Renegade Red Squirrel wanted the thing done. He did a super chat to me yesterday to cover something and didn't see it at the time. You know, it felt bad afterwards, and then he was asking Rocky on Rocky's show earlier, so I donated to Rocky so that Rocky would see it. So he'd do the TA on it, so we got you covered. And it wasn't really all that incredible, you know, it was just nice little thing. You were nice, so it's not a big deal. Tradespotting just jumped over from that was that one. Please what I have been wearing a bing bong sock under my brace. Part of my language. It's the only sock I own. That was long enough and light enough. I appreciate that. Sarah, over your brace, you got a Tradespotting sock on. Oh, it's magic, you know, that Tradespotting sock. If you put your hands around either side of it too, and think about the heat and how that's making it better, and it's going through a Tradespotting sock, that'll actually make it even better again, Sarah. Will. Tradespotting, Trading in the Zone has 2 authors. Don't get caught out. I'm not getting caught out. Mark Douglas is the one that listens to it. I don't even know the guy's name. They'll probably do. Probably I'm being mean. And I'm sorry. But Mark Douglas. R.I.P. man. What is it? But what if we get too rich? I know, Gary. Well, that's terrible. It keeps me awake at night. It gives me sore eyes. I cry earlier because actually that's what I was upset about. I got emotional, but it was that drove it. My anxiety about what I was going to do when I was too rich. It's fucking awful. Terrible. Terrible. This isn't a Wendy's. Legend Taz, Jay. Why are you saying that? I remember Stick RPGs. It's from high frequency trading terminal on Stick RPGs. This the Hollywood Stock Exchange brought to you by Max Kaza. Where is the thing I was going to look at? It's the AMC. Right now I like AMC and increasingly have more AMC. There's the weekly time frame. That looks like a big fucking sword. Here it is. It's Gallaba stuck in the mountain. Somebody's like, yoink! Rip that one out. Uh-oh, you're so crap. What is the idea with the auto? I'll fit everything on the chart. It's like, well, that's not what I'm looking for. I want it to be like understandable auto button. Also features a harmonic. This one with a D point on the top side. You're already making your way there. Tested 236 above it. Positive. Wicked. Close above. Now, this is what Stefan's like. You can't say anything. Would you consider increasing the transparency of these drawings? Well, there's some I don't need, right? That was to say buy, but it's bought now, so. I don't even know if I'm clicking it, and I don't want to delete other shit. There you go, great. And I can leave the other ones on because that's where you're aiming. The measured move. This previous Fibonacci, touch the 1272. That breaks your previous horizontal at 44, but the area aim beforehand is 41 and change. It's a 382. It's the breakout zone. It's like having broken through there on the 618 on this tiny Fibonacci. It's the next level, 41, 44. That would be considered further than just a breakout. Enough that you might not even need a retest. Or slash to wait for confirmation, which would be like what I mean when say the previous sentence. They're interchangeable, but that's what they'd mean, rather than just like you feeling happy with it. Right, yep, cool, that's confirmation, and we're off. No, it's like it has to do something, and that we're doing that. So 1272, 1414, 1618. What are we looking at here? It's 41 point something, and then it'll have a wick, and then it'll come back, and then it'll go $50. That's the AMC. And that's on the weekly time frame. But how do you know all that? Like, go down to the do-day time frame. Stretch it out a little bit. Stretch it out. Diddle-diddle, stretch it out, and then stretch it some more. Well, 786, 886. These are levels on this drop down from here. Price action found this a significant area, right? For 2-day time frames, it had this drop from your previous area of horizontal resistance at that point. Resistance dropped down to this area, which was the support. Broke below it, open and closed below it, another open below it. That's broken. And we're on the 2-day time frame, so it's definitely broken. Even though it hadn't moved far away from it, it had definitely broken. And had it moved far away from it without retesting it, then had it gone a significant percentage, typically you would say about stocks and shares, it would be between 15 and 20%, right? And now that seems like a lot when you're talking about trades you're already in. But if you're not actually in the trade and you think there's been a trend change or more than just a one-time reaction, and you're looking to trade that thing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, so shake the camera, then you might not get that retest, which you're looking for. And yet you might be determined that that move is going up. And you're not going to sit here in 50 years' time, like 15 years' time, say, if only I'd bought that thing that time, but I was off by 4 cents, so I didn't. And then I sat there and watched it increase in value along with my hypothesis for another 15 years. But there was just no other opportunity for me to enter the trade, right? This is something Mark Douglas used to talk about all the time. And he's fantastic, and his books are brilliant, and his interviews are amazing. I don't want to say anything bad about anyone who's lived and died. No, that's not true. I'll say bad shit about dead people if they were wankers. But he made some shit trades. Like, he really was a little bit shit at trading himself. It's all about what his lessons were that are important. He made some super shit trades, or like didn't make trades for stupid reasons. That's the truth. Probably wouldn't mind me saying that. I don't know. Would he mind me saying that? Probably he'd be used to it, right? He's dealt with people like me a lot. So, why I was talking about that? So 618 on this smaller thing here. Let's just go down time frames to make things more interesting for people. It's a little bit macro up there, ain't it? It's still even on daily, but the significant time frame here on daily. Horizontal is really interesting there at 35, that you managed to stay above that after a wee dip out, which on smaller time frames self was divergent, is the C point of this harmonic and was likely to do something from there. Let's see if it makes it up to this D. It is incredibly far away, and only because of the nature of the actual range on the first X to A, like it's such a huge dollar value to see from a harmonic. There aren't all that. I'm getting distracted by that. Shut up! Alerts. So, get distracted. So, yeah, what is it? They were talking about the harmonic. Yes. And within it, you've got this B point here, and often you'll see things move to that. It's the 618 pocket, golden pocket of this larger Fibonacci from your previous high all the way down to the most recent low you put in here. I fully expect AMC to be back in and around there in the lower end of that, and so therefore the take profit target for some assets or for some traders, but from my perspective on AMC at this point right here is where you would look to manage your risk, whether that depending on the instrument you're trading and what it's at when price action on spot is here, or should it be another way of working it out, and depending on what you're trading in that and how you're holding it or trading it or whatever, right? So up there is where you're looking at. For position management is essentially what I'm talking about, and that's all down to you and your own personal circumstances and what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you differently, ever, no matter what. Right? You just don't let them. So within this, you've got loads of different extensions or measured moves, like not just up here to your D point, but what else might take you up there. Well, the measured move from within this, this is a pennant. We talked about that aspect of it being a triangle like that on GME. Something like that's quite rough, right? You could also say that that's taking it from here and say, this is a measured move from the flagpole. Hello? Stefan is right. That's not it. Tricking me again. I mean, if I just hold it, if I just kind of go at it, I'll get it by accident. Yeah, I knew it. In there, it's not strictly speaking true, but it's close to it, very close. So first low to the first high, take it, say you break out price action somewhere right within this equilateral, somewhere around here, which you've already, close to. There's your first move, taking you to those 618s and that $50 and whatnot. Should it be that price action then goes higher and breaks some of its previous peaks, other than just this B point here, but does go up to the X or takes it the whole way to the D, or there and they'll be then completing this measured move from this pennant. May well be that that's not the full extent of it. It could be something different, like if I try and grab this, did I get it by accident? No. Because it wasn't truly by accident, was it? Anyway, there's no such thing as accident. Is it? Yeah, so this is like the bull flag. Arr. Must be an easier way of doing this. Anyway, so I'll just draw it there because it's like less than fiddly and annoying. And then take it back. And it's something like that there, and you drop that on. Say we break out of that, it's got a little bit further on it. And maybe, you know, with a retest, you're looking at something like a wee bit there or a little bit extra. And rather than just 96 or 97, you're looking at 107. Or the full extension up to the 1618, and that's around 134 to 137. How long ago was it I said that that was going to happen? Boom, bing, bing, bing. Bing bong. Price is wrong. Slightly less wrong when it's up there. Still measurably, really. But this sort of thing, looking left, horizontals, Fibonacci's. I've covered it all, right? You're looking at the D point, ace, all-time highs. And the test, the real test, comes in at $50. Just like the real test for GME comes in at $255, despite there being levels on the way there that are significant. And if the story changes at those points, we'll have new chapters to look into. This is the path ahead so far. Bing, bong, bing, bong. Is there anything else that I should be covering? I mean, these crypto people were supposed to be interesting, eh? They're so not interesting. What are they talking about now?
If you think about what blockchain could be a game like this, where there's resources.
Aye, so they're just like, you know, expressing their own hopes and dreams for their own games. And saying, well, and you think about blockchain, how it could integrate with this and what it would mean. Like, with everything, eh? Everything in the world. Like, where are you making a difference? He's got a game. He's making a difference. I'm not saying that. But, like, you know, just the whole... Like, aye, so what? You know? Like, people think that means something. It's like, you could be sitting here, I could be talking about gene therapy. Like... that actually, you know, or rockets, or GME, actually, you know. You think about when you integrate blockchain with this, you think about it, it's like, nah, what about the actual business purpose of the thing here, mate? You know what I mean? I mean, are you talking to people who want to invest in the thing, or are you talking to people who want to play your game? In which case, those people couldn't give a flying fuck. You want your game to be more fun. Now, earlier on, they're like, we need to find people who are interested in gaming and crypto. It's like, you need to fuck off, eh? Like, what you honestly, eh, you're so self-obsessed and all weird and that. You need to find people that, you need to find, like, shut up. I hate so many entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, eh? Despite having been in that space a number of times, like, I just hate them so much. Even if they like games and cryptocurrency, like I do. So why is it that I hate them so much? Anyway, I could be super positive. How's it going, buddies? Oh, it's good if I'm holding back. Yes, it's fucking so exciting. Ah! Right, what else, guys? Fucking hell. What's happening? Tradespotting, I've been wearing a bing bong, so I've read that. Oh, how neat. Manifest density. It is neat. You got a wee message. Never thought my goal would be a D. Tradespotting. Hey. Dink. Dink. Barrett, Tradespotting, the best TA in the world. Thanks, Jimmy. You're welcome. Did I do... You asked me to do something. Oh, it was AMC you asked for. Good one. I did something that someone asked for. Sweet. Thanks, you're welcome, Barrett. Totally welcome. Glad to have been of help, I hope. So. Tradespotting, what do you think about Burry's tweet about Bitcoin being in a big head and shoulders but didn't complete it? Burry would do himself a favour to tune into my TA. He would. It would maybe be a little bit difficult because every so often I do meme him. But you should tune into my TA. I was like, I mean, when he gives his opinion on my TA, I'll give you my opinion on his. But like, I'm an expert in TA. He isn't, right? He isn't. I'm definitively and categorically better at it than he is, and I'd beat him at any time. And I'm sure he would consider that to be not unusual for someone who's done it for so long. Similar times he's done his thing, which wasn't really all TA, like little bits of it, but he might have relied on other people or put his talents and skills elsewhere. I think he should talk about mine. And also, like, what, 60% chance of a failure of a Head and Shoulders, right? There's a 60% chance it'll fail. It will more likely to fail than otherwise. Therefore, a failed Head and Shoulders in and of itself isn't remarkable. Therefore, that to be the thing you're talking about is either irrelevant, redundant, or actually in reference to something else. And people who tweet meaning one thing, trying to hide it, make it look like another thing. Nah. Like, nah. That's someone egotistical, fucking around, who thinks they're smarter than they are. And or it's somebody who's anxious, insecure, and trying to cover their own ass. And so there's the breakdown of what I think of that, you know, and you can fill in little narratives to illustrate and colour between the lines. But that's what I think about it, long and the short of it. We're going to look at open. Oh, we wanted to look at open. That's cool. Life's pro tip for not dragging your fibs all over the place. Maybe right click and lock them. Saves the annoyance. Thanks, Chris. Good thinking. Good thinking. That's great. Thanks, Chris. Really good thought. Take that thought. Forget about it. And then make my own life difficult again, as I so often do. Blah. Blah. D on the butterfly. Ah, okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about something else. Dink. Big news though. Dink loves the D. Tradespotting. Thanks, Jimmy. That's why you're the best. You're just nice now. I didn't deserve that. You should have told me to go fuck off. It's hard. See, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah. It's not easy. Tradespotting. If we dress up as tadpoles, do we have a shot at winning the next week's tadpole game? If you had convinced me that you were the tadpole, then you'd have won it, but you've just given that away by telling me that you'll be dressing like you've just ruined that whole thing, right? Haven't you? I mean, you had to convince, and you just asked me. So now the game is up. Tradespotting, is AMC a better investment than GME? But sure, I've seen you around here loads. How come you're asking me that? This is strange. I think now people are trolling me. It's definitely happening. You know me too well, and you're trolling me. Tradespotting, thanks for the stellar drippings of wisdom that fall from your lips. Barry would do well to lick some up, but instead spews his own spit. Slobber. Michael Burry is welcome to tune in anytime he likes, please. He's very busy and he's out there using social media somehow better than I am. Somehow. Fuck knows. Got any tips, Michael? First one, is AMC better? That was a good joke. Your boy's back in his Bitcoin bedroom, I see. That NFT thing's a joke. It's not happening over there. Let's like raid Rocky. Like raid Rocky. Is Rocky live? Well, then we can like raid him. He is. He's only got 191 likes. Let's go over to Rocky's place and like raid him. Let's go over here. Let's go over to Rocky's place and like raid him. I have to put in the link so you will go and click it. Chat there. Paste. There it is. Go over here and like with me and click on that guy's video's like button and hit like on it. There he is. If I'm starting TA from scratch, where should I start, Mr. Rocky? What a fucking good question. For anyone to ask that and get an answer from Rocky is so good at the start of your trading journey. Go over there. That answer will help you no matter where you come from. And look, his tip jar isn't full enough. That's a disgrace. Though Odyssey's got a big donation from a fucking legend as well. Oh god, you're the best fucking audience in the world. Like, I never thought we'd be here doing this sort of thing. This is fucked up. I love Rocky. Love you guys. Thanks so much. Go to Rocky's stream. There's a link to it. I shouldn't even be on when he's answering questions like that. That's just having the value there right now, right there for that's amazing. Go and watch that. Go and like it and watch it and stay there and don't come back here. Go and watch Rocky's show and don't come back here. And I'm going to go over there and watch it too. And I'll be in chat there. And I'm going to end this one. Go over there. There's that link there. Go to that show. Go to that show. This is where we should all be. Thanks to everybody who supported me today. And every day. More hopefully soon in a minute. I'm going to end. Hopefully he stays on. Love yous. Thanks so much. He's a freaking brilliant. Thanks for everything you do for me. Thanks for everything you do for Rocky. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying around when you do. Thanks for keeping company. Thanks for likes and comments. And being so good to me. These are incredible to me. I can't. And that earlier on was so nice. I forgot about that earlier on. That was so nice. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Sorry NFTCON was what it was. Mind you. Did say it was likely shit.